Landslide.
Breaking news, a landslide in Laguna Beach.
Let's get up to Rich Prickett in Sky 5. Rich?
That house is fucked.
Glenn and Lou, you can see all the debris that came sliding down onto
Literally,
the
the walkway just
Laguna
fucking
Beach,
fell
just
off.
off of 9th Ave near 1,000 Steps Beach, and you can see all the boulders and partial collapse of a staircase that appears to have come down along with it, maybe some sort of pipes as well. Now investigators are here assessing the situation. Geologists will need to come out here and see what might have prompted this slide here, but in the meantime, they will have the beach closed. Firefighters are here, lifeguards are here.
Yeah, Laguna Beach every now and then gets hit with a landslide on this area. This is a very, this area is very well known for getting hit with landslides.
Good news, no injuries that were reported.
I mean, just look at this house. Like, what the fuck?
Have fallen as a result of the landslide. We're just seeing some steps that have come down and a little bit of maybe a fence line there, but you can see the authorities that are here on the beach. This will be an ongoing investigation. Again, 9th Street Beach will be closed while the investigation is ongoing. Live in Sky 5, I'm Rich Prickett. Send it back to you in Hollywood.
All right, Rich, thank you.
Okay. What is this? Oh. Oh, that's something I'll watch off stream. Oh yeah, this happened 8 days ago, but yeah, I forgot to pull this up because it happened
It is haunting
pretty
video.
late at
Our
night.
8 News Now investigators showed you here first. 2 women walking hand in hand through a strip casino with the man they would eventually kill. This afternoon, those 2 women are beginning eventually.
See, this is why women are sketchy. They'll fucking stab you.
Kill. This afternoon, those 2 women are beginning their sentences in prison.
All right,
Thanks for
VTuber
joining us
women.
at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
No, they're the most
Our News
sketchiest.
Now investigators were the only TV crew in the courtroom for this emotional sentencing. David Charnes here with how many years they could be serving behind bars.
Yeah, right, Denise. The pair took a plea deal, sending them to the Department of Corrections for at least 10 years. Today in court, the family of the man they killed repeatedly asking why they did it.
Streamers, VTubers, OnlyFans models.
21-year-old Erica Covington apologizes for
I'm just
killing a
shooting
man
strays at
inside a
everyone, I'm
Caesars
sorry.
Palace hotel room before a judge sentences her to prison.
I deeply, genuinely apologize for the grief and the pain that has been brought upon you guys' family.
She and 22-year-old Ariana Taylor killed and robbed 25-year-old Brian Altamirano Solano in May 2023. This video, the 8 News Now
2023.
investigators shortly afterward,
God damn
shows
it,
the
women.
trio walking hand in hand.
You goddamn femme
minutes before the
fatales.
murder.
No le bastó con robarle sus pertenencias.
Altamirano Solano's father speaking with the help of an interpreter. It wasn't enough just taking his belongings, he says. They had to kill him. Altamirano Solano and the girls were in his room for about 15 minutes before one of them pulled the trigger. Police finding
they
a
shot a
cartridge
gun at
casing
him.
they say matched
What,
Taylor's
22
gun.
Luger?
Altamirano Solano's mother joining the hearing remotely from out of the country.
Couldn't tell
pain that I
what the
felt
caliber
was
was.
so deep, she says. I felt like I just lost Taylor's gun.
That says Luger. So it could be a 9mm or a 22.
Gun. Altamirano Solano's mother joining the hearing remotely
Could be a
from
10
out of the
mil.
country. The pain that I felt was so deep, she says. I felt like I just lost my life. I had so many questions. Why? Why my son? Police work to find the women included comparing these Instagram videos to surveillance from several strip properties that night. Officers arresting the duo 2 days later. Altamirano Solano's father again speaking through the interpreter.
Pido justicia por mi hijo.
I ask for justice for my son.
Police nor prosecutors have ever said which woman they actually believe pulled the trigger. Nevada law allows charges against all people involved in a murder, not just the person who did the actual slaying. I'm David Charnes, 8 News Now.
So, David, the judge sentencing the women as per the plea agreement. While the minimum is 10 years, the maximum is 25, and the decision on when to release them.
Yeah, I think this is their first offense, so that's why they're getting the low end of the bargain. But yeah, they get 10 years. I think that OnlyFans model chick, she might only get 10 years for stabbing the dude and killing him as well. That bitch stabbed him like, I don't know, like 5 times. Oh, one in the heart. It's like, Jesus. Crazy bitch.
Now to a joyride.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. Dream. Okay. There we go. Cleaned up some of that.
Happen. First of all, they only had a crew of 3, and if you're flying a visual flight plan in a crowded airspace.
So this is the one at the Black Hawk helicopter and the American Airlines flight that had the 70 passenger plane.
Space like this, they really should have had 2 crew chiefs in the back of the helicopter to clear each side, as the pilots only have visibility from straight ahead 12 to 3 o'clock, or 12 from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So you only have visibility of the front 180 degrees. Your crew chiefs clear the back. If you only have 1 crew chief, how much can you clear? The second one is, it is, whether they were on night vision goggles at that time or not, it is a very cluttered airspace with a lot of lighting and the lights reflecting on the river. And so with that, it's easy to kind of get a little disoriented as far as the height. They were supposed to be at 200 feet, which is the helicopter routing in that area, and it wouldn't have been a conflict, but they were not at 200 feet. Obviously, reportedly, the incident happened at around 350 to 400 feet as the airliner was descending. So that they were at the wrong height. So that's a pilot error. The first would be a policy error or choice. And then the third is air traffic control said, do you have the CRJ in sight? Well, there were two aircraft in their field of view, and actually only one was really obvious to them. And that was if you watch the video, the aircraft taking off in the foreground is probably the one they were facing, the pilots were facing, and said, yeah, I got it. The air traffic control should have said, do you have the aircraft at 5 o'clock? So they were looking at the rear. If they had done that, the Black Hawk is maneuverable. The Black Hawk could have moved out of the way quickly. They can move on a dime and make that happen.
Yeah, so what she said is they must have been looking at a different plane and they just weren't paying attention. Or the air traffic control didn't make sure that they were actually looking at the correct plane.
Authorities have announced charges against a local man connected with a drone collision during the Palisades firefight.
That incident downed a super scooper for several days. Corrine Winter is live in downtown LA with details from prosecutors. Hi, Corrine.
Hi there, Lou and Glenn, and yes, we know who that individual is, 56-year-old Peter Ackman of Culver City. That's the individual, according to the Department of Justice, the drone operator who flew his drone into a super scooper during the Palisades fire. That fire, of course, caused a lot of widespread devastation, also many deaths. The DOJ says Ackman has pleaded guilty to 1 count of unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft, and that he also allegedly admitted to his reckless and illegal conduct. According to federal prosecutors, Ackman drove to the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica. He parked his vehicle on the top floor of a parking structure and flew his drone in the direction of the Palisades. Prosecutors say he wanted to see the damage that the wildfire was causing. That was reportedly about 1.5 miles in the direction of the fire, but he lost sight of that drone, and that drone then collided with a super scooper carrying 2 crew members, aggressively trying to fight that fire. That collision left a 3-inch by 6-inch hole in the left wing of the super scooper. It had to be taken out of service, and we know how important those super scoopers are, one of the most important firefighting aircraft in their arsenal.
Yeah, to have that damaged with that fucking dude flying that drone, yeah, that really fucked shit up. Yeah, that man, and the dude's getting charged for it, because it's like, during an emergency situation, you fucking hit the goddamn plane that was being used for an emergency situation that they needed. Your ass is getting screwed, dude. You're paying for that plane, and you're probably getting fined a lot for that shit.
Federal prosecutors today filed a criminal charge against...
Oh, he went oh my god, they went criminal. Oh shit. Oh man, you're fucked. I think cause of how severe the situation was, they elevated to criminal instead of going civil. Oh man. Oh yeah, good luck to that person. Fuck.
Peter Tripp Ackerman. Mr. Ackerman has agreed to accept responsibility and plead guilty to 1 count of unsafe operation of an unmanned aircraft. As part of his plea agreement, Mr. Ackerman had
Oh, he took a plea agreement, that's why. Okay, he took a settlement.
That he acted recklessly, and his conduct posed an imminent threat to firefighting crews.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point you're in a vicinity you're not supposed to be. And then you take out one of the most important tools they need. Yeah, they're gonna fucking be pissed about that.
And Ackerman has a 1 o'clock court appearance here at the federal building behind me in downtown Los Angeles, so we'll have much more. We'll see if prosecutors have more statements after that court hearing. Maybe we'll hear from the defendant's attorney. Either way, we'll be standing by for those possible developments. We'll send it back to you now in the studio.
Yeah, rip that dude. And that dude has to fucking just take it on the cheek. Because you know that they're not gonna fucking let him go. Oh god. Oh. Bill him for the damage. These charges are a joke. I mean, the fact that what the prosecutor said right there means that he made a plea deal. He settled. I mean, he could have fought it in court and be like, this was not my intent, right? But at the same time, they're taking you to federal because of the elevated nature of it. Yeah, people don't believe it. But, hey, just don't be in the vicinity when they're trying to fight a fire. Why are you in the vicinity? Why do you gotta put your own life at risk and other people's life at risk? That's just... It's just literally that simple. Don't put people's life at risk. That's all it is. And yeah, unfortunately that guy kind of did that. Even if it wasn't his intention. There's now reporters attempt to frame President.
Light for us on how the president perceives his use of public profanity, which is a practice that certainly sets him apart from all of his predecessors. Does he regard it as an effective communications device, part of his appeal, or is it something that he lapses into inadvertently, perhaps in times of frustration and later regrets?
What's wrong with you?
I think one of the things that the American people love most about this president is that he often says what they are thinking, but sometimes lack the courage to say themselves. And I think yesterday at this podium, you heard President Trump express great frustration, perhaps even anger, with the previous administration's policies, many of which have led to the crises that our country is currently facing and that this president is focused on fixing.
Oh my goodness! That's the most badass thing I've ever heard.
Also, he called someone, one of the, I think someone was asking him a question about the obesity problem in America, and the dude was like, and fucking Joe Biden was like, "What are you talking about, you fat?" Like, Jesus. What? Roasting men's living spaces. No. That's rude. Trying to get all the like news and stuff
Well, I
out
think
of the
there's only
fucking
uncertainty in this room amongst the media. There's no uncertainty in this building. So let me provide the certainty and the clarity that all of you need.
Last night, President Trump plunged the country into chaos.
Last night, he plunged the country into chaos. Nice, dude.
Brian Chuck.
This is not.
Chuck Schumer. Jesus.
Plunged the country into chaos. Brian Chuck.
This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration.
The Trump administration announced a halt to virtually all federal grants and loans across the country.
There was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump no longer wants the United States to be a part of.
Donald Trump has shut off billions, perhaps trillions of dollars that help American families every single day.
Nice misrepresentation, dude. Wait, so she's talking about the World Health Organization. Who's he talking about?
Perhaps trillions of dollars that help American a halt to virtually all federal grants and loans across the country.
Oh, he said all federal grants and loans across the country. Bro, that's a big mischaracterization, man. That's a big mischaracterization. You know, I don't know, man.
There was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump no longer wants the United States to be a part of.
Adam Schiff would say the same fucking thing.
perhaps trillions of dollars that help American families
50
every
Shiv would
single
say
day.
the same
Social
thing.
Security benefits, Medicare benefits,
Chuck Murder
food
Schumer,
stamps, welfare
Chuck
benefits,
or
assistance
Shifty
that is
Murder
going
Shiv.
directly to
Yeah,
individuals
these guys are
will
murderers.
not be impacted by this pause.
So many things just boom, cut. It's cruel. It's reckless.
This administration,
cool.
if you are
It's
receiving
reckless.
individual assistance
You're
from the
reckless.
federal government, you will
The
still
fuck outta
continue
here.
to receive that.
Law enforcement, aid to the elderly, support for veterans.
There was about to be 50.
Wait, apparently he said that they're trying to cancel aid to the elderly and police. What? Didn't you guys do that literally? You guys definitely defunded the police, that's for sure.
The million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Why were we trying to send... What? How many? $50 million to fund condoms. Why was America trying to send 50 mil in condoms to... What, where else? Gaza?
In Gaza.
Yeah, why? Oh. Oh. They say a misrepresentation. Donald Trump, they asserted that the admin had to stop 50 mil. However, neither Trump nor the admin have provided. I mean, it might have been the whole International Medical Corp stuff. But at that point, it's like, why? Condoms? What? Yeah, that's why I found this a little strange, because it doesn't make sense to do this at all. When there's literally when there's like, is there even houses over there anymore? When they first bombed it, did they even rebuild Gaza? I don't think so. Still in ruins over 15 months. Well, there you go. So why are they trying to send money to Gaza when everything's already bombed to shit? I mean, it's one thing to like try and send the money to like humanitarian efforts, right? To help the civilians that were in the aftermath or in the conflict in the middle of it. See, this is what I have an issue with the government. They tell us they're going to send our money to somewhere, and then we never know for sure if it actually gets sent to the right people. And then you have shit like this coming out, 50 million on condoms to Gaza. Like, what? That makes no fucking sense. Why would you do that?
Pardon me?
Like, who the fuck who makes those kinds of statements? I don't
That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money.
Donald Trump has done a lot of bad things in the last week, but nothing's worse than this.
It is the responsibility of this president and this administration to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars.
This decision is lawless.
It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs.
It's destructive.
It means no more funding for the Green New scam that has cost American taxpayers tens.
I think what's happening is they're just trying to say that the Biden administration has fed us a bunch of bullshit, right? And have given our money, right, our taxpayer money to wherever overseas, right? And whatever fucking weird experimentation they're trying to fucking do, right? Wherever the the pharmaceutical companies, funding war effort and Russia, Ukraine stuff, right, stuff like that, right? All of our taxpayer money goes into a lot of this stuff.
Of billions
right,
of
the military-industrial complex, the pharmaceutical-industrial complex, right? Tech companies, right? All these fucking things.
dollars.
It's dangerous. It's cruel.
It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy and agencies.
This is cruel, and it affects everything everywhere.
People who are receiving individual assistance, you will continue to receive that.
It's illegal and it's unconstitutional.
The past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason.
Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, it should. Yeah.
We've had an inflation crisis in this country.
Hospitals and community health centers can't draw down any of their funds. They need it every day. Every day.
I mean,
President Trump is
we know for sure Hunter Biden was doing some weird shit with hookers and crack and meth and shit, right? Man, those photos ain't going away, man. This shit's all over the internet.
Out for you by issuing this pause because he is being good steward of your taxpayer dollars.
We're from the government. We're here to help.
Oh, don't say that.
It's dangerous. It's cruel.
Oh man, we're from the government. We're here to help. Shit. Oh, that's a good one. Oh fuck me. Love her. She's brutal. People need to cut off the things, crying, Chuck is saying. Things like those and SSI are still going out on time. He only stopped the wasteful shit like the condom money. That money screams kickback to me. Condoms in Gaza? Yeah, that's what I think too. I think they were trying to hide whatever they were trying to push through with money. Like, the whole condoms and doesn't sound correct. They were trying to send whatever kind of money they could, right? Over to, I don't know who. The fucking terrorists? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck they're trying to send the money to. Because condoms in Gaza? Like, what? It makes no sense. Right, if you wanna see some real fucking right, what's that fucking called? What's it called? I mean, right, if you want to know literal black companies, just look at some of our government. Do some real evil shit. Alright, I shouldn't be even talking about that shit. Cause that's like, that's not something people should know. Crooked leftist New York Attorney General Letitia Letitia James announces lawsuit against President Trump over freeze of federal grants and loans. Letitia James is the one who made her whole campaign on trying to stop Trump, and is still going on it. Right, Fannie Willis, right? Tiffany Henyard, right? A lot of these politicians down in the South, yeah, they're doing that kind of shit. Whether it's in the North or the South.
Not only does this administration's new policy put people
Fucking
at
New
risk,
York.
but it is plainly unconstitutional. The president does
You're
not get to decide which
unconstitutional. Get the
laws to
fuck out, you
enforce
corrupt
and for
piece of
whom.
shit.
When Congress dedicates funding for a program, the president cannot.
Yeah, you want to talk about black companies? Here you go. This is the real fucking New York City. Fucking California. You want to talk about some black companies?
pull that funding on a whim. Later today, I am leading and joining with my colleagues, my fellow Democratic
And these people will fucking sell your soul real quick.
Generals is suing this administration to stop this
I mean, they already
illegal
have
freeze
technically,
of
right?
essential funds for our state. We will not stand for any illegal
Just look at the
policy
fucking
that
national
puts
debt
essential
clock.
services for millions
Your
of
asses are
Americans
sold
at
to
risk.
that
Our
shit.
lawsuit will seek a court order to immediately stop the enforcement of the OMB policy and to preserve essential funding for Americans.
As the New York State Attorney General, I promise that I will use the powers of the law to move us forward and fight back against forces who try to move us backwards. I will take on President Donald Trump.
She said it right there. I will take on President Donald Trump. The forces that try to move us back. And there it is. That's her thesis.
I will take on President Donald Trump.
That's her goal. That's her purpose. Everyone here is fucking tired of it. I'm sick of you people and all this crap. What do you mean, you people? Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene blows up reporter asking a stupid question about the J6 pardons. Well, I mean, yeah. Look, some people are kind of still upset about that stuff because you did have some people who were doing some not so good things, right? I mean, you could clearly see it on some of the cameras, right? Obviously, there was, right? It was a mixed bag of good people just, you know, taking pictures, checking out shit. And then you had people starting shit, right? And then you had people like really like doing fucked up things, right? Right. So it was just a mixed bag of all fucked up shit. So they just did a blanket pardon. 'Cause I think it would have been the easiest because they've already been all sitting in there for a while. Large lunatic leftist threatens to key Trump supporters' cars in Mexican restaurants. Oh yeah, also, keeping all those people in the fucking prison system, right, in the jail system, that's wasting a lot of money. Right? So it's, you gotta make a choice. Right? You fucking let them all out, or you start prosecuting one by one, and that's gonna fucking take a while. When we already have a backed up fucking court system, yeah, it's like, dude, right, you gotta pick your battles. Right? Just do the blanket shit and just get it over with, because there's all sorts of shit that happens day by day too, right? It's right. You had those people sitting in there for like what, 3 years, 4 years, right? And they were probably gonna sit there for another what, 2 more years maybe, without having any fair trial or due process, right? It's like,
And I see a truck because let's face it, it's going to be a truck.
right, a lot of the people already fucking, you know, ruined, right, they ruined the rights of those citizens that got locked up without any due process. So it's like, at that point, it's, you might as well just blanket pardon everyone, because it's like, the government already fucked up. Right, if those people were to go into the court system and appeal, right, you would have that whole appealing process and shit, right, it's just a whole fucking headache.
With a Trump bumper sticker, you're getting key. I don't even want to see you at Taco Bell. The only thing you get to eat for the rest of your life is plain white bread and mayonnaise. And I know that you were going to eat a lot of that anyway, but that's all you deserve. You deserve nothing that tastes good for the rest of your life.
Eat the bugs. You will eat the bugs. I like it. You will like the bugs. You will eat the bugs. You will like it. Far left, NY mag caught cropping black people out of all white Trump party. Good job. Watch it hurt my feelings. Obese Detroit rapper sues. Oh, it's the. Yeah, you fucking got it. Yep. Refuses her ride due to her size. Yeah. It hurt my feelings. Oh, that sucks. Maybe actually fucking stop being fat. I don't know. Maybe actually, you know, start exercising. Start moving your body. Stop eating so much food.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit
God
Lions watch party this month.
I still can't.
When her lift rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already.
I see him making faces, and I'm like, oh man. Well, yeah, because he didn't think you were gonna be a large person who's gonna maybe fuck up his car.
I can fit in his car. He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like.
When he started talking about his tires, what's wrong with that? It's his car. It's a tool for him to use. He needs to use it to do his job. If his car got fucked up, that would be very bad for him. He wouldn't be able to do a job. Right?
My tires.
My tires.
Dank DeMoss.
I mean, to be fair, he is the dude about the tires is correct. Well, then again, I don't.
She's known
not
that
my
the mic
problem.
is crushed
Not
by
my
the whole
situation. Not help fire evacuation because guarding Biden. Captain America star tells Europe Captain America shouldn't represent America. Oh, yeah. I already saw that. Yeah, that was dumb. That was super stupid. I don't know why he said that.
America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term
Captain America represents a lot of different things, but I don't think he represents America. What the fuck? Have you seen any animations or comic books? Right? Have you, like, what? Have you seen the cartoons? Have you seen the animations? Have you seen the comic books? All the different series and all the different variations of Captain America? What are you doing?
you know, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about.
If you're not very fond of America, then why the fuck are you playing the role? Like, what? If Mjolnir was to go to your hand, he would probably fucking slap you.
A man who keeps his
Actually,
word,
I don't
who
even.
has
I
honor,
just
dignity,
gendered
and integrity.
Mjolnir.
Someone
Not bad.
who
It's a
is,
fucking
trustworthy
object
and
that
dependable.
has its own free will. A lot of Americans trying to survive political grief after Trump victory. Oh no, Trump is griefing us because he's now president after he was democratically elected by the people. Oh no. He's grieving us. Oh no. You know who I am? Entitled Democrat, New Jersey. Councilman curses at cop and tries to use his position to dodge ticket after traffic stop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw this. You know who I am? No? Who?
What's going on? Why you acting this way?
Yeah, this guy.
Seriously, what you told me? Why you acting that?
I want to know what exactly are you getting behind me?
Stop sign. You stop at a stop.
Yeah.
I can't stop as much as I can stop.
You didn't stop at all. You rode through that car.
Are you serious, cuz?
I am serious.
Do whatever you gotta do. What do you need?
I got you. Just let me see your license, man.
God, Jesus Christ. What do you need? Don't think I ain't gonna talk to Gary about this.
What I gotta do with this?
It's got a lot to do with it. But let's go home. You know me.
I got you.
Yeah, I run around here with my gun toting, weed smoking. Son, I'm the one that hired you. I'm bringing you on. Are you crazy? Yes. Absolutely. On your camera, I put you on. Come on, man.
Actually, you did not hire that cop. It would be the people who are paying for his salary.
I'm trying to go home, bro. I live right there, bro.
Right, he's part of the government municipality, right, services and stuff like that. So he does get paid by taxpayers.
And you pulled me over for an alleged not stopping a stop sign. For an alleged.
I'm sitting right up. I'm sitting at the stop sign.
For an alleged, Marquise. It's an alleged, bro. It's an alleged.
How is it alleged?
Because I stopped. You see my tail light?
You didn't stop.
Alright.
You gotta go to a complete stop. I'll see you roll through it. You didn't stop.
We need to reimagine.
He says he lives right there. I mean, he's just trying to protect the community, right?
1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing. We know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety.
Oh, shit. Listen, I'm the one that hired you. You're your boss. I am literally your
Fucking Kamala. That's fucked up. You shouldn't say that. Just because they put those people on blast constantly because they get caught up in some right. Not their fault. Well, I mean, it is a little bit. If you are using your political position to avoid tickets, you are corrupt, yeah. If you are using the taxpayers' money, like Tiffany Henyard, or weird shit, don't be surprised when they fucking kick you out. When you start doing like illegal shit, people start to fucking side eye you and be like, "What are you fucking doing, you weirdo?" Sometimes science is wrong. Look, don't get me wrong. The science is wrong sometimes is because you got shit scientists who wants to cherry pick certain data points to drive an agenda for, say, Democrats or Republicans, right?
Sometimes science is wrong. We make progress.
What did she realize what she just said? Yeah.
We build on the work, and
well,
we
yeah.
become more successful.
No,
and when
yes.
you continue to sow doubt about settled science, it makes it impossible for us to move forward.
Mean that it was impossible for us to move forward because of something else. Yeah, I know, right?
So that's what the problem is here.
Is it really?
It's the relitigating and rehashing and continuing to sow doubt.
I'm only going to say this one more time, sir. Calm down.
So we can't move forward.
I mean, she is looking a little red. She is looking a little heated there.
And it freezes us in place.
Yeah, I don't... Huh? What is she even talking about anyway? She just kept repeating. She didn't really say anything. She just kept repeating the same thing. It's like, oh, yeah? And? Is that it? Oh. Oh, okay. Sure. Whatever. Not even worth it. Jesus. She is fucking cooked. You must have been watching Cackle's speeches. To be unburdened by what has been. Or you can be do I have the clip? Do I have it? Yeah, right here. Yep. Or be she was basically acting like AOC right there.
I want to ask you, what do you think Democrats need to do to pull themselves out of sort of this hole that they're in since Trump's been elected? And who do you see as the leader of the Democratic Party in this moment?
So look, the thing we need to do is get off our butts and get back in the fight. That's right. I get it. It hurts to lose to Donald Trump. It hurts to lose the Senate. It hurts to lose the House. We don't have all the power we would like to have, sure.
Yeah, you guys got slammed all three places. Get fucked.
That's what elections do. We believe in democracy. We accept the outcome of elections.
Oh, wait. You guys believe in democracy, but you guys didn't like it. You guys just said that you didn't like it. What? What do you want, a little pooper?
What? We don't have all the power we would like to have, sure. That's what.
Yeah, that too. That statement. It's like you guys had 4 years. You literally almost had all the power. Like what? A house in the suburbs? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, dude.
What elections do. We believe in democracy. We accept the outcome of elections.
Oh, really?
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have
I still have hope.
How can you win with Russian interference, though?
That's
what I'm scared about.
I mean, look. The home you want is probably already riddled with crackheads, and it's being leased out by shady people, right? There might be a drug lab there. You never know, man.
But rightly.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So
That'd
how
be
do
a
you,
crack house.
fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right.
That Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered.
I have an objection
Russian interference.
because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified.
Oh, the electors in Florida, those guys, those 10 people are shady. They didn't get the right certification. What? You guys picked them. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Believe in democracy, we accept the outcome of elections.
Our election was hijacked. There is no question. Congress has a duty to hashtag protect our democracy and hashtag follow the facts.
Russia interfered with.
Oh no. It's fucking Wish fucking Obama. Timu Obama. Uh-oh.
our election,
Discount
attacked
Obama.
our
Watch out.
democracy for the
He's coming
sole
for you with
purpose
the
of
Russia.
artificially placing someone at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They were successful.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did.
I do.
Wait, what about your weird emails that you weren't properly taken care of?
You recognize I am not the governor of Georgia, but I do like to point out.
Oh God. Who was this lady again? This lady's awful.
Out something that is true for me and for many in our state, and that is we won.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I am not a member of a tribe, and
I am not a member of a tribe, but you went around in the headdress and everything.
I have apologized for not being more sensitive to that distinction. It's an important distinction.
Wait, is she talking about this? Wait, did she get one guide by AI? No way. Did she get one guide by AI?
For not being more sensitive to.
Wait, did she really? No way. Oh my God. No way did she get one guide by AI. Pocahontas is definitely one of my favorite Trump nicknames. Calling her Pocahontas. Consideration and should be charged. Yeah, Maxine Waters as well. Right, she was actually Maxine Waters was actually advocating for right. Same was Ratskin, right? Same was Adam Schiff. Right, Shifty Shiv. Yeah, even Elizabeth Warren was trying to call to action people. Fuck these people. Every time they do the gun control stuff, call to action stuff. Right, executive order, right on your face. Like, what the fuck? Fuck off. Whenever there's a school shooting, we gotta fucking, we gotta take out the gun control card. Oh shit. Oops. I shouldn't be. Whoops. That's not a good thing to show. Yeah, there was another airplane crash today. Oh man, it was it's not looking good too. Happened in Philadelphia. Just a jet just decided to I don't know what happened. From what it looks like, it looks like it stalled or something, cause it just went straight fucking down. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that was it was literally going straight. It was nosediving. Right, it was. Oof. All the debris. Yeah, that's so yeah.
Allahu
Fuck.
Akbar, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my God.
You can see the fucking shrapnel too. Even from that far away. Because it's on fire. Yeah, you can see more.
Oh shit, a plane just fucking crashed. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, man, she's alive.
Yeah, you can hear the plane coming in hot. You can hear. Yeah. That weird like tinny metallic sound you're hearing, right? Those are the rudders spinning real fucking fast, right? Those are the engines going real fast and shit.
Medevac, mid-service 056, on departure, turn
This is
right
the
heading
call.
290,
That was a medevac plane carrying passengers and some medical people.
runway 24, clear for takeoff, wind 25010.
Wait, what was the cause of the plane to fall down? We don't know. It's still under investigation. It literally just happened today. Same with the Black Hawk one. We haven't gotten any information on what the hell happened yet either. But they're probably gonna get the black box, right? The flight record box in the planes and try and figure out what the hell happened.
Medevac, mid-service 056, affirmative. On departure, turn right heading 290, runway 24, clear for takeoff. Medevac, med-service 056, contact Philly departure 123.8.
123.8, Mike Tango Sierra 056 Medevac. Thank you, good day.
Medevac, med-service 056, Northeast Tower, contact Philly 123.8. Medevac, med-service Northeast Tower. Medevac, med-service 056, Northeast Tower, you on frequency?
Medevac, Mike Tango Sierra 056, Northeast Tower, how do you hear this transmission?
Medevac Med Service 056, Northeast Tower.
Turkey 6098 Foxtrot, Northeast Ground, Roger. Stand by one. I'll get back to you when I can.
Approach to runway 24, what's going on down there?
Position 765. We have a lost aircraft. We're not exactly sure what happened, so we're trying to figure it out. For now, the field is going to be closed, so no inbounds or outbounds probably.
All right, understand. Thank you.
For 6098 Foxtrot, I'm sure you copied that, but for right now, we're gonna call the field closed. We'll try to get you out here when we can. If we can't, we'll have to take you over to Atlantic, but stand by for now.
Plane that crashed in Philadelphia was a Learjet 55 air ambulance from Mexico. It crashed shortly after takeoff from Philadelphia Executive Airport. It is not known what caused it to crash into the ground like a missile. Honestly, it looked like it nose diving like that. I have a bad. It might have stalled. All right, there's what? Like they were just straight nose dive. That's the only thing I can think of. There's an air ambulance flight and the call sign medevac, meaning they had a patient on board, yeah. The flight was en route to Springfield, Minnesota. Right, Springfield, Minnesota. Oh, Missouri, sorry. Oh, MO, yeah. MI is Minnesota, I think, right? Or Michigan. What was Minnesota? MN, that's okay. MN. I saw this too. I was like, what? What the fuck is going on? This is the hashtag DIE hire Samuel Heidelope. Hashtag pilot of the Learjet 55 that crashed. I don't know why they're bringing Sam Hyde into this. I don't get it. Why do people hate Sam Hyde so much? Due to history of promoting hateful and offensive content under the guise of comedy? What do you mean? Is known for his strong alt-right ideology. Oh, because he does like race jokes and homophobic joke, right, and LGBTQI joke, right, anti-Semitic jokes and comments and stuff like that. Misogynistic the jokes. I mean, well, if you don't like offensive comedy, I don't know what to tell you. Right, I mean that's right. That's literally that's a thing. I don't know what to tell you. His comedy is deliberately getting a rise out of people. That's literally his comedy. I mean, right? He's a dude who does. I mean, right? Some of the stuff he talks about is pretty dark too. Sometimes, if you really think about it. Yeah, that's rough. Sorry, I don't want to like show off a lot of the stuff because there was literally parts of people, unfortunately. So I'm kind of like trying to be careful not to show anything. Because I already fucking accidentally did that. Yeah, I don't know. The people who are like going into the fucking like crash site and like doing dangerous shit, I don't know why they're doing that. Like you guys should stay away from the fucking vicinity. Right, you don't know if there's anything that's gonna fucking explode, right? That thing was an airplane. It was carrying a bunch of medical supplies, right? It had probably oxygen tanks and stuff like that. People should fucking steer clear. Right. But no, people are like trying to go into the wreckage and like try to film and shit. It's like, Jesus. Rough. And not too long ago, we had that fucking plane crash too at the with the Black Hawk, right? And the passenger plane in DC. So it's like fucking hell. Yeah, and they're still trying to clean up the mess in the water. They're still trying to investigate too on that one. Yeah, not too long. Trump did a. I think Trump talked about it too. Oh, he didn't talk about, Oh, okay. Yeah, right here.
I'd like to request a moment of silence for the victims and their families, please. I speak to you this morning in an hour of anguish. We are one family, and today we are all heartbroken. We're all searching for answers. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine?
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power, you have to go by psychological quality, and psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden, and Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know, but we do know that you had two planes at the same level. You had a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened.
Mr. President, you have today...
Oh, okay, so this is... Yeah, this is the wrong one. This is the one about the, This is the one about the Black Hawk one. I guess he didn't talk about this one yet. Man, oof. Oh, geez. I don't think I should have showed that one. Literal person I don't know if that's... Also, that looks like a different area. Yeah, I can't show this one. Definitely cannot show this one. Because that is definitely, yeah, that is definitely not something I want to show on stream. Deep state retaliation. Yeah, I hate how people are trying to like spin conspiracy theories on a very fucking like very terrible accident. Right, because there was literally a patient on that fucking plane and shit. So they were clearly moving. They were clearly moving them somewhere else.
Another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button on this video like it's a pre-transition Ellen Page, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, MedVPN. If you're surfing the internet alone without a VPN, then you're surfing with Justin Skippy Trudeau. I use MedVPN to hide my location from the Canadian government, to keep my freedom of speech, as well as to sail the high seas and download movies and TV shows without potentially getting sued by lawyers. MedVPN offers unlimited data traffic, no logs, a kill switch in case your VPN temporarily goes offline, and it's only $2.45 a month on a 24-month plan. Keep your online activities private and free. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, why does Justin Trudeau, a 52-year-old man, still wear Taylor Swift friendship bracelets? Maybe Jordan Peterson is right when he says that I always found that shit weird.
Yeah, I always found that shit weird. People just wearing a bunch of weird, like, Taylor Swift friendship bracelets. Like, what? What are you, gay?
14-year-old girl.
What are you doing?
And probably the same testosterone levels as well. What's also coincidental is that he has the same
why are you
taste
so
in music
brain
as
rotted
gay
by
men in
Taylor
their 50s
Swift?
and 60s. Discount Pee Wee Herman here is probably also wearing
Oh, no.
SpongeBob SquarePants underwear as well. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. Moving on, what do you call dating your ex? Is it a pathetic mistake? How about dumpster diving or mental illness? There's a reason she's your ex in the first place. If you were the man and you left her, then she's the one that wants to get back together with you. And she caught you in a moment of weakness and you couldn't control yourself. If she dumped you the first time, maybe she got back together with you because she couldn't find anyone better. Or you got rich, or just her beta bucks now. Number 3, a black woman from Uganda was cropped out of a news agency photo of Greta Davos. She says that it hurt her a lot and is the worst thing that happened to her in her life. But why would they do this? Having a black woman in the photo is extra virtue signaling brownie points. Maybe it was because of her greasy forehead and high
That's pretty
hair or
fucked up.
something. My final answer is because only white Americans and Europeans are guilty of climate change. Up next, here's what it's like scaring ordinary people living paycheck to paycheck with the stock market crash. Have you noticed how the markets rarely crash these days, and when they do, it's not very deep, or it doesn't last very long? When most people have no money to invest, there's usually no point in shaking them out of the markets, because they aren't even in it. Most people can't wait for the market to crash so they can afford groceries again. That's why it's not happening. Number 5, this woman says a lady should bring up astrology on the first date, because it identifies men who are arrogant and incapable of entertaining opinions that they disagree.
Girls should bring up astrology on the first date. Schrodinger's brat. God. I'm pretty sure this is a meme account. There's no way. Not because it's an accurate measure of compatibility, but because it self-identifies men who are arrogant, condescending, and incapable of entertaining opinions they disagree with. Fuck.
Agree with. But only crackpots tend to believe in astrology. I think that women love astrology because it allows them to pass the responsibility for what happens in their own lives onto the stars above. Something tells me women won't reject a Chad even if he doesn't believe in the star sign nonsense. Moving on, the more men understand female nature, the lower the rates of breakups and divorces. Of course. Because the more men understand women, the less we want relationships with them entirely. That's why women work so hard to create an aura of mystery surrounding them. And why they try so hard to shut down, shame, and destroy the reputations of men that share their secrets with other men. Because then they lose the access to the men they really want. Number 7, the average woman is smarter than the average guy. That explains why there's no female Elon Musks or Nikola Teslas. This also shows you that you can't be the average man if you want to...
Your average chick is smarter than your average dude, which is fine because there are no female Elon Musk or Nikola Teslas. True midwits. Okay.
Succeed in today's world. Because not only are you competing with a greater number of average women and higher intelligence males, but you're also going to be competing with AI. This woman is also reading this bell curve incorrectly. The average woman is just as smart as the average man. It's just that men tend to be more widely distributed on this bell curve. Up next, when you meet a woman with one of these
I mean,
haircuts,
just because,
remember,
right? Just because it's more, right, elongated doesn't mean shit, right? Especially when you're looking at a bell curve distribution, everything gets right averaged out or medianized, right?
that you're about to hear the worst opinion known to mankind. But what I want to know is why they get the haircuts of boys back in the 1990s. Also, let's not forget that most of the women with haircuts like these also have massive nose rings. They also tend to have those
basically all women with short hair. All the weird short hairstyles where they have their bangs like cut weirdly.
Massive thick frame glasses and a bright hair color that makes parents blush with envy. Number 9 in Luigi Mangione CCTV footage, it's high contrast. and that's apparently why his unibrow is missing. Some people are
Yeah.
saying he shaves it.
Yeah, with this, the reason why, yeah, the fucking, look, do you see this image? It looks like ass. This is super pixelated compared to this. This one looks way cleaner. Like, come on, people. Why are you retarded? Do you not know cameras? Do you not, like, know different lenses and, right? Do you not know that we're still using shitty cameras?
And then it just grew back really quickly. Yes, it grew back faster than his beard. He also conveniently had the weapon and manifesto on him when he was captured at McDonald's. Either he's the world's smartest dumb criminal, or he's being framed.
Wait, so
I
what?
don't
Oh, when they caught him, he had the manifesto on him, so they knew exactly who he was. Like, what? So he self-reported himself because he still kept some information on. Like, oh my god.
know which one is worse. Moving on, welcome to 2024, where actual piracy sites have less ads than YouTube does. Yes, and if you're using YouTube without the Brave browser, you're probably missing out. When I use FrostWire, I haven't seen a single ad, and it's more convenient than going to the theater or installing streaming software on my computer. I don't even watch actual television anymore. YouTube has gotten so bad with dual unskippable ads that even billboards have less ads than YouTube does. Number 11, according to the Iranian military, the CIA is now providing standard...
That's fucked up. That's mean. Why are you doing Zelensky like this?
...uniforms for their employees. They look like they belong to the same tribe or something. Looks like both of them were an extremist makeover NATO edition.
Oh no! There was the lookalike Zelensky who was a comedian, and then you have the Zelensky.
It's also easier when doing the laundry because there's no need to separate the colors. At this point, we're just being gaslit. Up next, Julie Bindel says shame on men for exploiting Lily Phillips. How did men exploit her when she used 100 guys and slept with them in 24 hours? So she could get fame and fortune.
Yeah, this one's weird. Shame on the men exploiting Lily Phillips. She's the one who put out the post! She's the one who did it! She did it first! What the fuck are you talking about?
She's the one that should feel...
Fucking...
feel ashamed now for trying to sleep with 1,000 guys in one day. And the guy should...
Why did you even do it in the first place, you dumb bitch?
feel ashamed for standing in line to do it. I guess she's gonna have to wipe the tears off her face with all that money she makes.
Yeah,
Number
no,
13,
exactly,
in
right?
1975, this Kodak engineer invented the world's first digital camera. And he could have changed photography
Oh, the
forever.
Kodak camera,
But
yeah.
Kodak buried it because it would have destroyed their film business. Eventually, they started selling photo CDs where you had to scan the film. But digital cameras were faster and cheaper, and the rest is history. When I was
yeah.
in film school, Kodak shares were at their peak. And 10 years later, the company was bankrupt.
That's true.
Moving on is the difference between Will
Yeah. Yeah, after digital cameras and phones and everything, yeah, physical cameras got fucked. Yeah. Because it would take time, right? You would have to get develop film. Remember when you had to develop fucking film for cameras? Right. Yeah, don't do that shit anymore. Do you see a lot of those machines anymore? Not really. They took them out.
Simp and Tom Cruise sitting on top of the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building.
Oh yeah, this
While it looks
building.
like Cruise isn't wearing a safety harness and is just your average rooftopper, he definitely has a hidden harness underneath. He has to because the wind could easily blow him off. Meanwhile, Will Smith needed multiple straps, a parachute, gloves, and shoes. He looks weak while Tom Cruise looks strong. Number 15, women complain about the gender wage gap, yet they have no issues getting paid 3 times as much per hour for playing tennis when compared to males. The difference...
Women are paid 3 times more than men per hour? Why? Yikes. Gender pay gap in sports. 4 hours, 51 minutes for men. 1 hour, 38 minutes.
...is that people actually want to watch women's tennis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. basically what happens is the men take the hit, or because the organization, right? The organization is the one funding the women's league. So essentially, the men's league take a hit to pay out the women's league. Because you're splitting up the fucking business.
Because the women are feminine, wear skirts.
Also, these women, yeah, they don't get anybody watching them. They get so they get paid, in a sense, they get paid less, but then they have to pay them technically more, just so they can equalize the gender pay gap, right?
And moan like they do in the bedroom. Women playing in the WNBA and soccer want equal
Yeah,
pay, but they barely draw any crowds at
WNBA,
all.
fucking soccer.
Up next
right?
is this woman a hero or
Soccer. It's the same way. Any women's sports that has a national team, yeah, it's unfortunate they get they get paid out by the men's league.
monster. She injected 8,600 elderly patients with salt water instead of the COVID vaccine.
Wait, what? Holy shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with injecting salt water. But they basically just made like a placebo effect kind of thing going on there. But the fact that they weren't like actually doing their job, holy shit, that's so sketch.
And she walks...
Right, if she... Dude, she could have put anything in that fucking syringe. Holy god damn. That's so sketchy, dude. At least she didn't kill anyone. Holy fuck, man.
free from court in Germany. She's probably saved hundreds of people from jab injuries, and maybe a dozen or...
I mean, she could have she potentially could have saved a lot of people with doing this. Especially if you knew that some elderly people might not make it, right?
or two from death. And all
it was probably better off for some of those elderly people to not take it.
This is probably the most courageous that a woman can be. Number 17, Austin Butler, has been cast as Patrick Bateman in the new American Psycho film. Hollywood looks like it's getting ready to destroy another IP that has a strong male character, that ironically many young guys look up to even though he's a serial killer. This also proves that Hollywood has run out of ideas, and at this point they don't care
I'm
about
surprised they're
making money,
trying to bring
they're
back
actually
that
interested
movie.
in destroying their cultural legacy. At least the new Patrick
Why would you
Bateman
bring back
isn't a
that
woman.
movie? That's like bringing back that movie now is it's not a good idea, because we already had someone trying to hunt down CEOs and shit. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna make it, see what happens. I don't who knows. Doctors warn cooking oil used by millions may be fueling explosion of colon cancers in young people.
Moving on, well, it looks like all the conspiracy theorists complaining about seed oil causing cancer are onto something, as doctors are also warning that they may be fueling an explosion of colon cancers in young people. Just use high-quality olive oil and don't heat it. Instead, broil...
Yeah, when I think about, are they like ingesting like gallons of it? Like, what the fuck? Why would you eat cooking oil? That's so disgusting. That's so gross and so bad. You know what's worse than eating sugar? Eating a bunch of cooking oil. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? They're making American Psycho remake? Yes. It's with this guy. It's gonna be weird, but okay. They should put Christian... Well, I mean, Christian Bale probably can't do it again.
onto something. As oil or boil your food, and illustrator you might make 50% from impatient hands to patient. Remember, the wise chart is a lifesaver. Boil and don't heat it. Instead, broil or boil your food and eat the oil in your salad. Here's a chart showing you which oils have the highest linoleic acid, or omega-6. This chart is a lifesaver. Number 19 to all the investors and traders out there, remember the wise words of Warren Buffett when he says that money moves from impatient hands to patient ones. As a technical analysis trader, you might make 50.
When we've been getting a ton of remakes, yeah, for the past few years. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they haven't been. Also, I think because of the whole SAG-AFTRA writers strike too, right? You had a bunch of people striking too, right? I don't even know how that shit's still going. I think people are still kind of upset about that shit. So yeah, that's probably why not too many people are trying to like make new IPs right now. And are just remaking old movies.
% on your money, but that's a lot of stress. Buying and holding good quality assets like stocks and property for the long run will easily make you 10 times more money, and the best part is you don't have to do anything but wait. Overtrading is also one of the ways that most people lose money. Up next, here's another single mother trying to make it socially acceptable to be one. She doesn't even know who her baby's daddy is and says there's no shame in it. Maybe it's time to bring back shame. Besides, I don't really believe this because she...
There's actually crazy women that do this shit where they don't even tell you who's the ass, right? It's like, oh my goodness. Holy shit. Sketchy.
most likely knows who the kid belongs to, but is probably just going to spring 5 to 10 years worth of child support payments on some poor sucker, and he won't even know what hit him. Either that or she's had more pricks than a second-hand dartboard. Number 21 are the different ways people see Trudeau. Canadians see him as an anarchist Joker type wrecking our country.
I see it.
He sees himself as the emperor, and the rest of the world sees him as a clown. Canadians are slightly incorrect, though. Canadians might see him as the Joker, but the Joker was actually effective at achieving his goals. Canada has elected him 3 times. There won't be a 4th time. I see Trudeau more as a compromised Manchurian candidate. Weak men certainly do create hard times.
His father's Fidel
Moving on,
Castro.
with your smash. I think she's so
Holy
hot that
shit.
most men would let her smash them.
God damn.
Not me, though. I'm not interested in smashing or being smashed. She certainly knows her audience and did
Weenie.
cosplay right, dressing up as Cammy White from Street Fighter. But guys need to be careful, though, because this is a wild creature. Who do you think the cops are going to believe, especially when she looks like this? Number 23, men who abstain from corn are dangerous alt-righters.
Rolling Stone, men who abstain from porn are dangerous alt-righters. Wait, what?
Dangerous to the income of lonely fools models, no doubt. Whatever happened to I'm more than just my body, and please stop sexualizing me. That all flies out the window when shekels are concerned. I wouldn't be surprised if the left was behind the no-fap culture because they want guys to get prostate cancer for not emptying their gonads enough. Up next to commemorate 2024, here's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit
Gross.
edition of the Orca Files. I was wondering why their sales kept on dropping so badly. Props to the craftsman that built that.
Yeah, I
dress.
think
It's
I
very
think when
sturdy.
Sports Illustrated stopped putting in like the hot models and the cheerleaders and stuff, yeah, that's when it started going downhill.
And it can support all the weight on that deck without even collapsing. Unfortunately, I spoke too soon because here's the
Oh,
boat
rip.
a few short moments later.
No
I guess
way.
they're going to need a bigger boat for next year. Number 25
No way,
when
did
this
this-
Kentucky mother ended her sons
Jesus. What? Oh my god,
with a
what the
broomstick.
fuck?
At least she didn't put them in the oven and roast them alive like the last woman in Atlanta did. Maybe
What the fuck?
she was trying to do the world a favor and get them before they got us. I can't wait to see how they dramatize this over at the Disney version called Single Mom. And here we are told that women are the nurturing sex. So that's it for another Memes
Jesus
the Week.
Christ.
Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and subscribe star links below. Anyway,
The
enjoy the
saline
rest of
nurse
your
is a
day
hero.
and cheers.
Yeah, they entered way too late and they got fucked. Right, exactly. Right, that's why you don't see them anymore. The Kodak cameras. They're just vintage cameras now. Dating your ex is eating your own vomit. Jesus. God damn, dude. Sydney Sweeney is mid. Even if she's still mid, I don't care. I'd date her. Okay. She still looks good. But, you know, that's just my opinion. What don't we do? What's this?
About this situation. So you might recall about a month ago, we were talking about this situation with the UN going after Japan. The UN was very upset with Japan, essentially writing this memo and accusing Japan of not following DEI policies enough. And essentially saying that if they don't follow DEI policies more, it's going to be a problem for them. As pathetic and bizarre as that all was, we now have Japan issuing a response to the UN. This for a different reason though, because last year in October, the UN was accusing Japan of discriminating against women due to the way they're running their imperial throne. So hopping over to an article on NHK, let's translate this via DeepL and take a look. Last year, a UN panel aiming to eliminate discrimination against women recommended that the Japanese government revise the Imperial House Law, which stipulates that the imperial throne shall be succeeded by a male member of the male lineage. The UN committee, which regularly reviews the efforts of countries that have ratified the Convention of the Elimination
that guy
of
looks
Forms
like
of
you, Dream.
Discrimination
Fuck
against
you.
Women, recommended last October that the Japanese government revise the Imperial House Law, which stipulates that the imperial throne shall be succeeded by a male member of the male line in order to guarantee gender equality in the succession to the imperial throne. In response, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Kitamura said at a press conference, quote, "The fact that eligibility for the imperial throne is limited to boys of the male line does not constitute discrimination against women, since eligibility for the imperial throne is not included in basic human rights." He pointed out that the way the imperial throne is to be succeeded is a matter related to the fundamentals of the state, and it is not appropriate for the committee to take up the imperial household law. In addition, on April 27th, the Japanese government informed the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, which is in charge of the Commission's administrative work, that it has requested that the funds that Japan contributes on a voluntary basis not be used for the Commission's activities, and furthermore that the Commission members' scheduled visit to Japan this fiscal year would be cancelled. So yeah, you can see Japan was really not having that recommendation, not only denying the recommendation, but even canceling the scheduled visit. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs responding, saying that the government contributes 20 to 30 million yen annually to the Commission, but that no funds have been used for the Commission's activities since at least 2005. Finally, NHK saying it is unusual for the government to request that funds it contributes to the UN not be used for specific activities. You gotta wonder how much of this money is really getting allocated properly anyways, and how much of it is just padding the executives and the administrators' pockets. And as we've discussed before, it always comes off really fake when the UN goes after Japan for alleged human rights reasons. Instead of taking their resources and going after countries in the UN that overtly have laws in their government that do discriminate against women, once again making it all seem fake and like they're just playing politics. But let me know what you think about all that in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in.
It just looks like
Consider
politics.
liking and or subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage, and have a wonderful weekend ahead.
Gonna go to sleep, Dream. Good night, bro. Me. Alright, have a good night. Stay safe. Don't get burgled. Keep one eye open. Don't be the burgled. I'm already am since I don't have a house in the suburbs. Okay. Alright, dude. Downfall of TikTok. Let's go, Mr. Moon. Let's see what Mr. Moon has to say about TikTok. The tickety talks.
Exist in a few months, and a lot of people hate this, seeing the US government acting yet again just like a nanny state, as nobody in their right mind wants more government regulation on what people do with their own lives. And of course, censorship shouldn't ever be tolerated by a government, but at the same time, it's really not hard to see why TikTok might be poisoning society completely, just by looking at some of the recent TikTok trends. And you'll
well, I mean, I hate to say it, but in the court systems right now, judges have been kind of saying that people being on these social media platforms have been changing their perspective, right? The judges know what the fuck is going on. They know that there's a lot of people on these social media platforms, and it's easy for people to freak out, right? Even my teachers know about this shit. A lot of the intelligence community, education community, a lot of people know about all the fucked up shit that's been happening on social media. Even I do, right? Ever since the internet has been open for people, right? There's been a lot of just cases of just fucked up shit happening, right?
You'll see just how toxic this app can really be, which is why in this video we'll be going over some of the worst TikTok trends.
The reason why a lot of recent fucked up shit is happening is because we have the access to the information so easily, since we can just look it up, and that's why a lot of people are kind of like freaking out because they're seeing it all over the fucking world.
Seen on the app to really assess whether TikTok is just like any other social media site or if it really is a weapon of the CCP.
Not only that, but you have some people who don't understand that some of the things that people do on these platforms are skits, right? Or satire content. Yeah, stuff like that. It's bad sometimes, right?
Minds of Generation Z. And if it wasn't already shady enough that ByteDance never sold TikTok, presumably under pressure from the Chinese government, the ban on TikTok might start to make more sense once you look at these disturbing trends, beginning with the Skull Breaker Challenge. The Skull Breaker trend raised a few eyebrows at how sinister those who take part in it can be. It involves two participants pretending to teach the third person a type of dance. The two outside TikTokers trip the middle one in mid-jump,
why would you... Never do this. That is so fucking stupid and dangerous. Like, the fact that they're doing that on camera, like, you potentially just put this person in the hospital because you just kicked out their fucking legs and they landed straight on the back of their fucking skull. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? This is why TikTok is cooked.
Back hard enough to break their skull in the full, hence the name the Skull Breaker trend. The majority of the time, the middleman is unaware of what's about to happen. Once the trend took off, it seemed TikTokers didn't care about what damage.
Yeah, that'll do it. During COVID.
Damage they could cause their friends. Doctors reported an increase in neck and back damage due to the trend.
Increase in neck and back damage. Hospital people have probably done some operations on people where it's like, how the fuck did this happen?
And doctors have since shown the possible repercussions.
Doctors have seen objects in people's stomach, and they wonder how that object got in their fucking stomach. Or lodged up in their, you know, rectum and shit like, right? Why? Don't stop. Just why are people like this?
Repercussions of
Holy
this stuff,
fuck,
which most of the
man.
time leads to bleeding in the brain.
If you hit head first, you can have a skull fracture, a hematoma on the outside of the skull, or even bleeding within the brain.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel my hand.
Yeah, you could, right? You doing that to right? You kicking the legs out from someone like that, and doing that, you could potentially kill someone like that, literally on impact. No joke. Don't do that.
I couldn't feel my legs, my feet, nothing.
These warnings were put out in hopes that it would stop
Like
kids.
who the, like what? This is why I think Gen Z and right the generations after are gonna get fucking cooked by social media if people aren't careful. Because if people are already doing this doing this weird shit where you're harming people for some clicks. Ah, man.
From following the trend. As in one instance, a kid was rushed to the hospital because he was unresponsive after falling victim to the skull breaker. He suffered a concussion which led to a seizure. The parents quickly laid assault charges against the two kids who did this to their son. And who can really blame them? It's a malicious act aimed at
Yeah, it's literally a you're potentially trying to kill them.
breaking another person's
Like,
skull.
who the fuck
When kids at the school
why
were
would you do
questioned,
that?
one who had done the challenge said it was incredibly painful both physically and mentally. One kid explained that TikTokers do it because they are led to believe they will get famous on TikTok. And
Yep, that's what I thought.
anything is worth it for the clout.
Yeah, for the clout, exactly. Yep. This is why I hate streamers and social media platforms. Because a lot of these people do look for clout sometimes. Like, you guys are the fucking shadiest motherfuckers ever.
TikTok is like a trending app, so I think this will be an opportunity.
Yeah, this is why I hate the whole VTuber community. Because they kind of live off clout. Right, and streamers too, right? YouTubers, all these people, they kind of have to live off of it. Well, that's why I hate it.
Opportunity to get them famous.
Those 5 seconds of short fame is enough of a reward to break someone's skull. The plain truth is that this is an assault in disguise of a prank. Now TikTok quickly began removing this trend as it was against their policy. However, this particular trend was one of many that caused tremendous harm. And of course, while schools would ban the trend,
Don't get me wrong, I do the same thing too. But, I mean, like, I'm being straightforward with it. Some of these people fucking gaslight the shit out of you.
there's not really much they can do here. And not only does the act of being tripped betray their trust around their fellow students and friends,
companies
and all
will
the physical and
gaslight
mental damage
you.
this does, but to
Right,
add insult to
humans will
injury,
get-
this
right,
humiliating
anyone will
moment is
gaslight
then
you.
viewed by millions to
Even
laugh
me.
at. But nothing is as stupid as the recent TikTok trend known as the fire
Right,
challenge.
humans
The fire
cheat, lie, and steal. A very famous CIA, was he CIA or FBI? I forgot what. One of our fucking politicians, if you will.
challenge is a self-inflicted challenge by setting
someone who
yourself
was
on
in
fire
the,
and quickly putting
intelligence
yourself out.
community.
Most of these challenges were done using flammable liquids in small quantities, just as rubbing alcohol, nail polish remover, and hand
Yeah.
sanitizer being the most common liquids used. The trend is done near a shower or a source of water in the hope that it's easy to manage putting out the flames. Now, most rational people would never dream of doing this themselves, but if
Yeah, why would you do that? That's so dangerous. It's one thing to do like the whatchamacallit, the body spray and fucking lighter and torch thing. Don't do that either. That's dangerous.
If your prefrontal lobe hasn't fully grown,
Because you could
and you're just
potentially
an
get
adolescent
the
teenager
flame
doing
to
whatever
go
it takes
back
to get a quick
into
burst
the
of
can
fame,
and
this might
explode
actually
the
seem
can.
like a good
And
idea,
then
especially when you
you're
see other people on
basically
TikTok getting
exploding your
millions of views
hands and
doing
face,
this. Other than the
right,
clout this
because
gives
it's in
you,
front
it
of your
serves no other
face.
purpose other than supposed
So
bravery.
don't do
But
that.
the after effects could potentially reframe your entire life and devastate your loved ones around you. But the thing is, most people don't actually know what it's like to really be on fire, especially teenagers.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't set yourself on fire. Don't do that.
You can't really comprehend the repercussions of this, even just for a few seconds. Depending on the
Yeah, if you really think about it, do not, I repeat, do not get fire near your face. That is really bad. Right, because you're gonna be potentially singeing your eyes, right, the inside of your mouth, right, your lungs, your mouth, right. Don't do that. Stay away from the face, man.
From the flammable liquid used, the intensity of the burn can do so much damage. Once skin is burnt, germs get caught into the bloodstream, increasing the risk of mass.
Yeah, that too. Infection from burns. You're highly susceptible to infection because of just how bad burns are.
Of infections. And to repair the skin, you need painful skin grafts.
Yeah, you need skin grafts. Right, they need to remove, right, parts of your skin from, right, to then graft it onto your body because you fucked up.
Which means taking healthy skin from another part of your body to grow over the burned dead skin. It's an incredibly painful, lengthy, expensive recovery period and leaves you with scars for life. You can inhale the gas which can...
Yeah, them doing the skin grafts, yeah, you're gonna have that scar. Because they literally have to take a whole patch out of your, right, a big layer out of your fucking skin. And that's gonna leave a scar.
Can damage or even destroy your lung tissue as well. And
having heat. That's why smoking is dangerous, right? Because you could potentially singe your lungs, right? Burn your lungs. Alright, burn your airways.
One who has actually done this challenge can testify that it's really not worth it for all the fame in the world. But of course most adults would know this, however little kids really don't. And when they see these videos on TikTok, it gives them a horrible motivation to actually pursue this stuff. Like when the 12-year-old girl, Maya Landers, suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns all over her body after doing the fire challenge. She spent over 2 months in a sterile room in the burns unit recovery. Her message is truly heartbreaking. She warns against doing the challenge and says she's grateful to be alive. Her mother is completely traumatized after seeing her 12-year-old daughter running past her room in flames. Her once healthy daughter now had to shave all of her hair off and will have scars for the rest of her life. All because TikTok viewers developed an insane new trend, all just for clout and to be recognized. And because it went so viral on TikTok, most of this young audience was too young to even think of the repercussions and just solely focused on the promise of fame. This stuff became a...
Yeah, see, that's what happens with humans and young people. They want that short-term, right? That short-term fame, and it's like, oh, no, you don't get short-term fame now because you fucked up.
Especially big news around 2020
now you're in the hospital.
Lockdowns, as it coincided
right
with...
now you're paying for the consequences. No, not the Benadryl challenge. Oh my god.
Like the
yeah, this
challenge.
one was bad.
Now, Benadryl is a drug primarily used for allergy relief, with recommended dosages of 1 to 2 pills every 4 to 6 hours. It's a non-prescription drug, meaning it's easily accessible and, like many similar drugs, has a large potential for misuse. While the FDA believes that it has some limited abuse potential in the United States, if the internet shows anything, they're completely wrong. Or maybe people are just idiots. There's been a bunch of people showing why people want to take this drug, particularly due to its effectiveness in causing vivid hallucinations indistinguishable from reality. Hence the TikTok Benadryl challenge.
Yeah, don't do that.
It all started with users recording and sharing their experiences with this drug, and with these crazy hallucination stories, it makes people who are bored with their life want to see what's actually going on here. What's in this drug?
This is why we have such an issue with drugs. Because we got stupid people fucking ODing on the most dumbest things ever, right? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to kill yourself like this? I don't understand.
And as more and more users took part in this challenge...
Also, it is the worst way to die, too, to fucking OD. That's so bad. Right?
Increasingly, more and more people wanted to discover these hallucinations themselves. And
that means your fucking heart gets overloaded by all the drugs and then it stops beating. That's like heart failure, essentially. Right? You go into you potentially go into seizure and shit like that.
discussing these stories, people began taking dangerously high doses, all to have more and more extreme hallucination stories that they could tell their audience about, which of course meant something was bound to go wrong. And unfortunately, in May 2020, a children's hospital based in Fort Worth released a statement that 3 teens had been admitted.
Like, it's so
due to
easy to
trend.
fucking
The
OD
mother of
on
one of the
pills.
teens recalled the moment she found out her
fucking
daughter
don't
took
do it.
14 Benadryl pills in the middle of the night on Memorial Day. Quote, "I got a call from mum and she was telling me I need to wake up. I didn't know what was happening, it was scary. She was having vivid hallucinations, and her resting heart rate was 199. And while Rebecca made it through the night, the same can be said for a 15-year-old from Oklahoma who took part in the challenge just a few months later. While the FDA did address this issue eventually, releasing a memo about how the reckless trend can lead to serious heart problems, seizures, coma, or even death,
That's why
this
you
trend
don't
somehow
do it.
continued into 2023. In April 2023,
Literally overdose because you fucking... You just put a lot of drugs into your body.
a 13-year-old boy from Columbus, Ohio took 14 pills. As the challenge revived itself, and more people started talking about their experiences once again. But sadly, because he was so young, consuming such a high dose, it tragically took his life. But the issue with TikTok is that it's so disconnected from real reality. It doesn't matter what happened to whoever last week, a new trend has arrived and that's what everybody turns their attention to. So your 15 minutes of fame are always so fit.
That is the reason why you keep you keep all your medication away from kids, all careful of sharp edges and shit like that. Because kids are fucking stupid and their bodies can't handle the effects, right? They're more susceptible to ODing because if they accidentally take way too much, that's it, they're gone.
Fickle, meaning you have to do whatever it takes to stay relevant. But perhaps
You
even
had
more horrifying
literally a kid take, 12 to 14 pills and that was it. He was...
was the hot water challenge. The challenge is to drink boiling hot water through a
Why would you do this? This is the dumbest idea you could possibly do.
straw, or you can pour hot water on someone else, or even
What? Are you fucking retarded?
yourself. Like the fire challenge, the after effect could be life-altering. At least one
Oh my...
One poor little girl lost her life by attempting to drink boiling hot water.
I didn't
through a
even
straw.
hear about
She
this
was
one.
tipped by her cousin to do the
This was
challenge,
2017.
and was immediately rushed to the hospital with second-degree burns in her throat. They had to do surgery on her windpipe to clear the scar tissue, completely losing her ability to speak. And after battling with more complications, 5 months later, she succumbed to her injuries and lost her life. And what makes this challenge even worse is that unlike the fire challenge, people on TikTok were actually promoting you to do this to other people. Like when Kylan Clark was asleep and his friends dumped hot water on him.
Why do people think it's okay to pour hot water over people? Like, what kind of dumb Like, these people who do that shit need to go straight to fucking jail. Like, what the fuck?
All just for a TikTok video. You see, they'd seen the challenge on TikTok, and one of Kylan's friends decided to prank him, thinking it'd be funny and they'd get more
Oh, yeah, this guy. Oh my god.
views because of it.
Yeah,
And when
this
Kylan
guy.
looked down on himself, he saw his literal skin was falling off his chest. After checking himself in the mirror, he saw more skin falling off his own face. The 15-year-old was then rushed to the hospital with second-degree burns on his face, back and chest. But luckily, after a week of treatment, he was able to survive and released from the hospital.
Doing a viral dance challenge after being burned during another viral social media challenge.
We didn't know it was gonna turn out like this. Like usually somebody just wakes up and they're like, eye burns, but they're
No. That does... Right, they just literally burned all of your right? You instantly, right? The pain is
There's also much more
pretty
mainstream
right,
trends
and
that are
you're
still
sleeping.
equally as
Right, you don't realize it because you're in a state of whatchamacallit? You're so comfortable, right? when people are when people are sleeping, right, their nerves and everything shut down, so they won't feel it until they actually like wake up the next morning, and then that's when they feel everything, because your nerves are shut down a little bit.
It's horrifying, like the one chip challenge. Now, on the surface, the one chip challenge doesn't sound that bad. This challenge was to buy the most spicy chip called the Pocky.
Beginning in 2016,
Oh, yeah, the
Amplify
Pocky
snack
chip
brands
challenge, yeah.
promoted the one chip challenge for their brand Pocky.
Unlike the others, at the start, this was just a great way to boost sales on the food, and so the company behind it decided to make a challenge out of it. If they can make a
Oh
challenge
yeah,
out
didn't someone have like a bad reaction and they had to like get their stomach pumped and shit because of this?
of it and it spread virally on TikTok, they'd get more views for their product and thus more profits. But little did they know what would happen next. You see, this tortilla chip came at a much higher price. Participants even wore gloves to handle the burnt colored chip because it was made with Nega Viper peppers and the
Oh.
Carolina pepper, the hottest pepper according to the Guinness Book of World Records. This chip was not meant to be taken lightly. The trend was only intended for adults, and the packaging warned against giving
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't give this to kids. I don't think they would be able to take the pain. Yeah, no.
it to children or taking it if you had any health issue.
You know how to eat if you're sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers. Yeah, nightshades of caps. Yeah, this is yeah, but keep out of reach of children. After touching the chip, wash your hands with yeah. Like this is like hazard warning. Like do best be fucking careful.
On the back of the package, a warning label says keep out of reach of children.
But the problem was that it was in sale in stores and kids could still buy it, and mostly kids watch TikTok.
No
Even with the
way.
packaging's clear warnings on the back, and the TikTok trend being designed for
Yikes.
adults, little did they realize that their audience wasn't adults. Adults don't do TikTok trends, and kids being kids,
Yeah,
they would
TikTok.
take
Yeah. You put it on TikTok, it's not well, I mean some adults are on there, but it's mostly young people.
up this challenge, like one 14-year-old boy who took up the challenge and sadly died a few hours afterwards.
In 2023, Harris Wollabaugh, a Massachusetts 14
Oh, there was a death.
year-old, took part in the challenge. After eating the chip, he experienced intense stomach pains and died a few hours later.
His autopsy revealed that he suffered a cardio arrest from a high dose of capsaicin within the lethal
yeah.
chip. This would immediately end the challenge, so the company would cease
Cardiac arrest, heart fail, basically. He went into shock and then died.
all sales and remove their products from all stores, completely trying to forget that this trend ever existed in the first place. Now, so far, most of what we've seen on TikTok is mostly physical challenges, but this next one is especially horrifying because of the disrespect it carries. Everybody with a
What
soul
the
knows
fuck?
that
Why are
dancing on
you
someone's
doing? Why are you dancing? What the fuck? What kind of fucked up shit are you doing? It's so disrespectful.
grave
Like
is
what the
completely
fuck?
disrespectful and evil.
Yeah,
and
like,
because of
what the
that, if you
hell?
do actually dance in someone's grave, it's so horrifying that people can't help but click and watch. And it didn't take long for this to become a trend on TikTok, where you literally go to a graveyard and just dance on people's graves. Some kids even did dance routines while others just danced however they felt like. No matter what, it was incredibly poor taste, and a
Yeah.
true warning sign about the
Jesus.
dangers of TikTok. Making you realize just how far people will go for clout
Yeah.
and any source of fame, even if it's only for 5 seconds and people hate you,
Pretty
just to
much.
feel like you're getting attention and people notice you, to stand out from the rest, without doing any real hard work or having any real talent. As TikTok isn't designed for these things, it's simply designed for the most shocking things possible so that you can't help but keep watching,
pretty much.
whether it be sleeping with
Degeneracy.
1,000
Oh
people.
yeah, this. Oh no, he brought this. No, he's gonna bring in Lily Phillips too, probably.
Day
Oh,
or dancing on
shit.
people's graves. Getting the reaction is all that matters to these people. But in the same breath, it kinda needs some serious addressing here. Someone even commented on one of these videos, imagine being at a funeral mourning the loss of a loved one, and then out of nowhere, a teenager starts
Yeah,
doing
that's-
orange justice. Even worse was that one clip included what seemed to be a mother and her kids or an adult with
Yeah,
kids
I'd be
under her
like,
care
what the
dancing
fuck?
on top of a headstone in some sad little pecking dance, while the kids follow her lead on the graves nearby. It's a truly dystopian, nightmarish picture of humanity. And when you watch
Guest
that,
model
it makes
X.
you just want to completely destroy TikTok forever. One of the most disturbing trends, in the sense of us being in a complete clown world, was the ice cream licking challenge.
What
Now,
the
as
fuck? What are you
we saw earlier,
doing?
TikTok challenges can be devastating for companies, as they have to pull off all their products.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, what the fuck?
But with this challenge, the companies had no idea what was really going on, and it's completely disgusting. The challenge originally started when this lady entered a store taking a tub of ice cream out of the fridge, opening it up and licking the top layer. Proudly doing this, taking back power from capitalism. She then put the lid back on and put it back
retarded?
in the refrigerator. And because of her stand, this unfortunately became a new trend on TikTok, with many doing the same, many being adults.
Jesus.
Imagine some people actually buying this ice cream after it's been licked with. After this,
And then
companies
they-
had to
oh
dump
my
all of their
God.
product because no one knew which tubs
Yeah, the
had
fact
actually
that
been
you're
tampered
tampering
If
with
it's gonna
food
attack
like that,
capitalism, I guess it kind of works,
that's like
but
a
really just at the
federal
cost of the
offense, dude.
consumer. Bluebell was hit the worst, as more and more people kept this trend going by
Oh,
posting
actually,
themselves
well, not
licking
really
the
federal,
Bluebell
but
ice cream
that's
and
that
posting it
is
back on the shelves.
that's like a misdemeanor or felony or some shit, dude. Don't do that. Because if someone gets sick because you did that,
Bluebell
oh
literally had to
boy.
ask the police to get involved as it was actual food tampering. Eventually and satisfyingly, the police did find the original culprits because, surprise surprise, they posted
kept
themselves on
doing it,
TikTok.
yeah.
The case against them was then handed over to a juvenile court because the lady was only a minor. But
Oh
others
my
who followed
God.
suit could land themselves a $10,000 fine or 2 to 20 years of prison time.
2 to 20
It's a
years.
trending challenge on the social media app TikTok called Devious Licks. A lick is slang for stealing something and getting away with it.
The devious lick trend is not exactly what it sounds like. It's a challenge in which you either steal something or vandalize something and then post your act on what you stole on TikTok.
What?
And yes, is it stupid as it sounds? Something that was only aided in California, where no criminal charges would be pressed on shoplifters stealing things less
Why?
than $900. Mixed in with this TikTok trend, and it ended up as you'd expect. And soon as teenagers started seeing these trends online,
That's
they
so
wouldn't just steal from shops,
stupid.
but also from schools. Just random things like soap dispensers, urinals, and fire extinguishers were stolen in schools. People across America were telling all these stories of their classrooms, bathrooms, and school halls
Yeah,
being
they just ran and
vandalized, with
stole the
posters being
monitor?
torn
What the
down and
fuck?
chairs and tables broken.
Kids are running home telling their parents about what the Devious Lick is doing to their campus, which also includes restroom
Why are
availability.
people so retarded?
Taina Maya with Colleen ISD says at last
Literally
count,
do
123
criminal
soap
activity and then
dispensers
post it on
have been taken
TikTok.
off wall mounts at campuses across the district. And that's not all kids are doing.
Even destroying,
Like, why the fuck are people like
trying
this?
attempting to destroy bathroom salting.
One student said their school decided to close their bathrooms and would only
Yeah,
allow
like,
one
what
bathroom
the
for
fuck
each
are
tenant
you
to be
doing?
open so it could be monitored. Participating in the
Oh,
trend
this
still
happened
required
during
that you had to
COVID as
post
well?
what you
Oh my
stole, and so
goodness.
it became very easy to actually find out who these people were. It didn't take
Yeah.
long for TikTok to completely ban this trend and remove all content related to it, instead redirecting any searches for this trend to their guidelines instead. But the problems with trends like this, especially with those laws like mentioned in California, is that there doesn't seem to be any real punishment for any of this stuff. In fact, it's pretty much only reward as you get more fame and attention for doing so, all with very little repercussions. Now there's just an endless list of these sorts of trends on TikTok, making it clear the lengths people will go to just for fame. But the TikTok ban isn't just about these trends. The real question is whether a foreign adversary changing its algorithms to specifically target the youth in America is a good thing to continue to foster in your own country. People have already clearly seen by now how different the Chinese version of
Honestly, I don't think it's just the algorithm that these people are after. It has to be more than the algorithm. Because there's no way in hell that it's just the algorithm.
TikTok is to the US's, and how the algorithms in China are there to try to help the population, whereas the ones in the US seem to degrade the population.
Well, you know the difference between the way our TikTok works and the Chinese version of it works?
Well, I know they don't let them on it very much, if at all.
They don't let them on it after 10 p.m., and they highlight
Yeah, they limit
science innovation, martial arts, athletic achievements. They highlight all these very positive things.
Yeah,
that's what
they do.
that's what their algorithm promotes.
Yeah.
All these very positive things.
Yes.
Suppresses all the other stuff, even
Right.
deletes it and gets.
Yeah, so yeah. It tries to get rid of the negative stuff and just promote all the positive stuff.
Gets rid of it. They don't want any social contagions entering into their children. But on our side, it encourages
I'm
that. It
waiting.
encourages
How's
the
it going,
wackiest
Peter?
behavior. If you're a guy with a mustache and red nails and you're saying, I'm going to take all your kids, that guy is going to get massive traction on TikTok. He's going to be everywhere. Your kids are all going to be trans, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ah, the outrage. That's
Well,
a
I
30
mean, you
million
had
view
fucking-
video.
what is
And then they
fucking,
monetize that. And then other people recognize that that's a successful
What's his
pattern, just
name?
like those dorks that sit in the fake jet seats. Then they start doing it too. Then they start like whatever I got to do to get kind of attention that this person's getting. Okay, wear nails, wear a wig, wear this. There's probably fake trans influencers.
How about Nick Fuentes? Her body, my choice. Haven't watched him since Fear Factor.
People saying outrageous things
Fucking Joe
specifically
Rogan.
just to attract the algorithm.
By this point in 2025, TikTok has become so ingrained in society that it seems like the genie is now already out of the bottle. In America alone, 170 million citizens use TikTok.
I still watch the
platform running it,
UFC. He
ByteDance,
still,
is a seriously questionable company.
he still
that we've spoken about
commentates
many
for
times on this
UFC
channel before.
from
So it's
time
not
to
really
time.
much of a surprise that the US government is now in unison to ban TikTok completely. And having seen the power of these trends alone in causing harm, what could China do if it really intended to damage society in the US directly? It's for these reasons the Supreme Court has unanimously ruled in favor of a TikTok ban, citing national security concerns. And yet ByteDance never chose to sell TikTok. The ultimatum was either to ban TikTok completely, or ByteDance would have to sell TikTok. And yet the company chose never to sell TikTok, even though they'd make billions from doing so. Maybe because of the CCP's interests, but who knows. However, the real question is whether this ban will actually happen or not. Trump has put a temporary halt on the ban,
I would
even though
assume that
originally
they're
he was the
trying
one who
to.
wanted to ban it in the first place.
It's
So
honestly,
it is
I
really
think
uncertain whether this
it's
ban
right. It's more than just the algorithm. It's the reach that it gets for young people, right? That market share that gets young people to like and to see ads and stuff and then buy into shit. How bad would it be if TikTok servers were to shut down completely? I mean, not really bad. I mean, it'd be bad for the content creators that are on TikTok, but everyone would just move to YouTube or Instagram, right? A different platform, Twitter. Yeah, I mean, there was a. I mean, I don't care either way. There's a lot of people who want it banned. There's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who just don't care. Right? It's a mixed bag. I mean, you already have a bunch of right. Just think of the Vine and Tumblr days, right? Those companies fucking got canceled, right? So what's TikTok any different, right? Like a drug addict who lost their crack? Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, like I said, you had content creators who were actually like putting a lot of content on there, who were trying to like make it a job for content creation. So I think you have a bunch of those people who are like freaking out the most.
actually take place or not. Though one thing is for sure, that chasing clout through these dumb and disturbing
Also, it appeals to the young people too.
trends has to stop no matter what.
Alright, I would assume a lot of Twitch streamers and YouTubers use TikTok as well. Because why wouldn't they? That's a big platform. And now they're losing it. So, you had what, about 170 million people on that platform? And then if it gets shut down, right, a lot of money's gone from TikTok, and then it's going to get moved and divested to, right, Twitter or Instagram or Meta, right? Money's just going to go somewhere else. Well, Jack Black is losing thousands of followers. I mean, it's probably because of what he's been doing recently and with the Democrats, and then yeah, that one incident with his homie talking about certain political things.
Jack Black is a national treasure. We must protect him at all costs. Comments such
I mean, don't get me wrong, he made some okay movies, right?
as this were normal just 1 year ago, but after a string of unexpected controversy,
Tenacious D,
he's not
yeah.
only losing thousands of followers, but
The School Rock one was okay. Lucha Libre, right? He has some okay movies.
Every Jack Black comment section is flooded with negativity. Compare
Well,
this
yeah.
to only 11 months ago when we listed Jack Black amongst celebrities who have basically zero haters. There was nothing controversial about him. In a Reddit thread asking about the most beloved celebrities, one of the top comments was Jack Black. He's just such a lovable guy, how could you not like him? He
I
never
mean, he
took
did a lot of kids movies, right?
life too seriously, always trolling the paparazzi and
That
acting
too,
like a fool
yeah.
for the public's entertainment by starting
I mean, he was like a comedian in that sense, right? He was
his
a
own
he
YouTube
was a
channel.
movie
Jack
comedian.
Black showed
right?
that actors are still just normal people,
Hey, what's up? It's me, Jack Black. This is my new YouTube channel, Jablinski.
giving him
Yeah, and then he made a YouTube channel.
a relatable edge that made his fans adore him. So when he'd faced his first controversy roughly 2 years ago, his audience was generally forgiving. Jack Black had shown his support for a charity named Autism Speaks. Articles explained in 2013 he hosted an Autism Speaks benefit, and in
A charity
2015
thing?
performed at the Lighted Up Blue Autism Speaks fundraiser. In
Uh-huh.
2018 he'd promote the charity via Twitter, perhaps ignoring it being extremely controversial.
I can't stand the
Autism
charity.
Speaks
Well-
hates autistic people. For
Oh.
over a decade, Autism
Oh, is that why?
Speaks tried to find a cure for autism. They treated autism like it was some type of disease that could be cured. People there
Okay. Strange.
therefore complained on Twitter, Friendly reminder that while Jack Black is currently trending, he has donated to ableist and eugenicist organizations like Autism Speaks and Next for Autism that focus on fixing and curing autism, a neurological condition. He has also attended Autism Speaks galas, yet his audience gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Jack didn't know it was a
The reason why you're unable to fix the whole autism thing is because it's a brain thing. You can't. Like, how are you supposed to right? How are you supposed to go into someone's brain and fix that issue? You can't.
a bad company and was just trying to do something good and got duped. Just playing devil.
Right? I mean, you had people trying to do fucking fucked up experiments back in the day. We don't do those anymore because they were fucked in the head.
Advocates. What if he's unaware of the problematic
Like the electrotherapy shit and the right, stuff like that.
issues? Jack Black seems like a decent person. This explains why he'd also give political opinions, but with his comments now reading, never get political at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a yeah, I don't know why this fucking
always ends wrong.
Some
This has
people,
become
man.
a primary reason for the fall of his reputation. Now, Jack Black has always been politically outspoken, but would make his arguments subtle and funny in the classic Jack Black style. For example, in 2017, Tenacious D performed This Government Totally Sucks, in which they joke about
right. If you
Benjamin
were
Franklin
able to try and give people that normal life, right, without having the disease. I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but there has been no breakthroughs in any of those studies.
Franklin getting naked and smoking weed. Similarly, in 2020, Jack Black made his own commercial.
that's what the
stating
health
it's
field
time
is
to be
supposed
a
to
hero,
do.
a hero
Try and give
with
people a
mask.
normal life.
Not this kind, but this kind, before jumping headfirst into his pool. Videos like that were pretty smooth and inoffensive. However, by 2023, his political opinions were less about the comedy and significantly more direct. For example,
America
he'd give his
rage
opinion
again.
on the Israel-Palestine war, for which he was heavily criticized to the extent that people called for a Kung Fu Panda boycott. When he shared an image
Oh, yeah,
reading
that's right, he
"Climate
was in
change is a
Kung Fu
human
Panda."
rights crisis, the comments again were
Oh
too
yeah,
positive.
yeah, I remember this. Yeah, the climate change is a human. Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, "What the fuck, man? What are you doing?" This one was so stupid.
He shared an image reading "Climate change is a human rights crisis." The comments again weren't too positive. Goodbye, Jack, you lost me there. Nobody
Yeah,
needs you to
I
guide them
don't.
politically. You're a professional court
what?
jester. That's why we watch you. OMG, LMFAO, Jack Black, you've gone down the gutter. In the meantime, about half of his Twitter became political retweets.
Oh, was that
beginning
AOC?
in June 2024, when Jack Black endorsed the president.
A few days ago, my manager called me and said George Clooney and Julia Roberts wanted me to help out.
Oh yeah, when he endorsed Biden. Oh yeah.
About the president, and I said, I am in. When and where?
He proudly
Yeah.
reposted the video to his Twitter, but with almost as many replies as the post had likes, it's safe to say his message didn't land so smoothly. Love your work, I just wish you didn't endorse anyone. Hollywood needs to stay out of politics. You are a part of a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, you had both sides getting right, actors and Hollywood people, right, making their endorsement and vote known, right? I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, I get it. But then you had some of these people virtue signaling, which was like, oh god.
People's childhood
Even
loves.
worse.
Now you're just a deadbeat sellout. What a shame. You've only alienated your fan base. We're here waiting for you to do better, although these were the more polite replies as they only...
Is that the critical drinker? Sir, you're a fabulous musician and fun actor. The problem seems to be where Hollywood actors, musicians seem to think they have moved the dial with anyone other than those that believe like them. You've only alienated your fan base. We're here waiting for you to do better.
The more polite replies as they only got worse. Over
Can't fault him on that
15,000 people supported a response reading, add Jack Black to the list of pedowood elites. Repost
That's fucked up. Oh, that's so mean. You're talking to a dude who did a bunch of kids movies, and then you're calling him a pedo. Fuck's up.
if you aren't surprised. Numerous other memes pushed similar allegations, with another person straight up stating, here's an awesome tip. Stay away from the pedophile at Jack Black just because he endorsed a presidential candidate. A different fan expressed, I'm so beyond saddened by this political shilling. The word disappointing isn't strong enough, and I just attended one of your recent Houston shows. Well, never again, Jack. And in a poll asking, have you lost all respect for at Jack Black, 85% responded with yes. The poll was likely somewhat biased, but still for the first time ever, Jack Black was losing followers. However, this likely wasn't a massive concern, as he was busy with something else completely. Tenacious D, Jack Black's band, had been traveling the world on their Spicy Meatball tour. They'd been through North America, all across Europe, and had landed in Australia just 24 days after Jack's presidential controversy. They scheduled their second show in Sydney for bandmate Kyle Gass's birthday, celebrating on Instagram before the show started. This continued into the band's performance, which would lead to the following interaction.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Mixed feedback immediately rolled in. Some people said that they're a comedy band that make dark jokes. It was a joke, they make jokes. JB and KG, they're good human beings with good intent, whilst others plainly stated, sorry Jack, but I'm out. One senator tweeted, there is no place in Australia for those who wish for the assassination of others, demanding that Tenacious D must be deported immediately.
Yeah, I mean, them
As a
trying
result,
to...
Kyle Gass
after the whole
apologized,
thing
writing
with the
line I
president,
improvised
like, almost
on
getting
stage
shot.
Sunday
Yeah,
night in
it's,
Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind, in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down, and truly regret any pain I've caused. Jack Black added I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form, but after rewatching the clip, people didn't buy it. Black was blindsided. He laughs when Kyle says it. He doesn't condone that kind of speech, but you see him laughing when the comment is is made. Jack's apology continued. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on
also,
hold.
these guys
I'm
are
grateful to the fans for their support and understanding.
These guys are like
It stated in an
showmen. They're on
interview 3
stage
weeks
and on
later,
camera.
We
a
need
lot.
to take a break. Everybody needs a break sometime and we'll be back. But it was already too late. Even those people who didn't mind the joke were disappointed by Jack's lack of support for his bandmate. Your friend of over 30 years says one bad throwaway joke that gets an overreaction. Like, have at least a bit of backbone and stick up for your friends. A different person said the weird thing with cancelling the Tenacious D tour over a bad Trump joke tells me yeah, dude cares more about money above all else now and will throw friends under the bus to maintain.
Yeah, that was weird. I
public
don't.
no
He
longer
didn't.
gave him the benefit.
Yeah, I don't think he had to cancel his whole show just because of just one bad comment. I mean, it's like it's not even that bad. They made their choice.
Of the doubt,
Jack Black is the ultimate sellout clown,
which began to impact his future movies. I remember a time when seeing Jack Black in a movie excited me. Now I skip it completely. Borderlands got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and has been considered one of 2024's worst movies. On the Dear Santa trailer, people criticized Jack Black just jumping
Oh yeah,
on
he
every
was on
movie
Dear
these days,
Oh
and
yeah.
nothing showed this better than
I
his
forgot about
casting
that.
as Steve. There are many
Well,
reasons
then
why
again, I
Minecraft's
wasn't
trailer
watching a
has
lot.
already
I don't
gained
watch
over
a lot
1
of
million
movies
dislikes,
nowadays.
the main one being, according to Forbes, the appearance of Jack Black as Steve, where he simply looks like everyday
The
Jack
last
Black
thing I
in a blue
watched was like
shirt
John
with his
Wick
now
4,
signature wild hair and gray
and I watched it
straight
on
beard.
my
It's
computer.
absolutely bizarre.
He's basically just playing Jack Black, but in a blue shirt. It looks like he rolled out of bed and they gave him this blue shirt instead. All right, now you're Steve.
He could have said, I am Jack Black, and it would have made zero difference. They gave Jack Black a blue shirt and called it a day. People joke that the director should have instead been cast as Steve, leading Jack Black to respond
Oh,
to the
Jack
hate.
Black was
I just
Steve?
think the backlash we're getting is ridiculous, especially from grown men who don't get that this movie isn't just for them. It's for a new generation, yet it seems the new generation don't want it either. My son is a Minecraft kid in elementary school. He told me that when they heard it was live action, all of his friends declared it was total trash. This doesn't even appeal to the target audience. As a result, Jack Black's rapidly losing followers on
Ouch.
every social media. He pulled a Dwayne Johnson and became a soulless corporate husk of his former self, who plays the same character in each of the far too many terrible movies he's in.
I guess. I mean, look. I mean, you start doing what you did, and people start making opinions, and yeah, well, yeah, people got upset with you. I think when you have a massive platform like you should in times like the amount of scary shit now, like we have elected to have a fascist government. We check all the boxes for fascist. I don't... Really? Oh boy. For me, I don't think this guy lives in America. For me, he got Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement. I think when you have a... Well, I might be miss... Oh yeah, I see what he means now. Yeah, I think he's talking about like the whole infighting and how, right, how people are fascist, or how people are electing fascist members, right, and stuff like that. All right. I mean, yeah, we do have infighting. I mean, back in the old days too, they were infighting, right? About policy and bills and stuff. Why would you not want to treat autism? I mean, I mean, studies have shown that you're not able to cure something that's afflicting them. I mean, they're technically fine. They just have some tics, you know. You just gotta be patient, you know. Yeah, basically he is losing followers because he is political. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think a lot of the issues is with Hollywood, they put too much on their politics. And now it's like, now it's pissing people off. Because that's not what they wanted in their movies and shit. And the people who default, and then they start to figure out who these people, the personality of these people are, and they don't get the starstruck anymore, right? Club should not be political, as long as they don't have the same opinion as me. People just seem to be a little immature when it comes to someone with a different opinion. Trump is a celebrity first, and people stormed their own capital for him. It's always about sides. Trump is back, and America is back, baby. There's so many more people who need to be canceled before Jack Black. Goose. Man, everything you said here just makes me support him even more. People just go so emotional over the dumbest things, you know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think people are going a little bit too overboard on the whole Jack Black thing. And don't get me wrong, he did say and do some things where it's kind of like, why did you do that? It's like, you can't fault people for, you know, criticizing him. But yeah, I mean, some of it is not even constructive criticism, right? And some of it is just, they're just bashing him. Like, come on, guys. Let's be fair here. Cool kids call it the tiz. Yeah, the tisms. So because someone is funny and talented and managed to turn that into a career, they lose the right to express their opinion. Yeah, that too, right? It was the same with Joe Rogan, right? When he started to do his podcast and started to show his more political side a little bit, yeah, that's when people were jumping on him, right? That's when you had CNN and jumping on him and shit. It was like, what the fuck are people going on about? Right? It was the whole COVID thing, right? It's like, Jesus Christ, people, calm the fuck down. They promote things they care about. Why is Jack Black being singled out like this for something quite common? Yeah, I had to. I mean, right, a lot of people are just emotionally charged right now. Because because of the whole presidency. And every facet, right? There's been a lot of executive orders, and there's a lot of shit just moving in the background now. I think everyone's like, I guess the tension is in the air, you could say. There's tension in the atmosphere. That was still good with me. These people just want something new to hate, and they're trying to hop on. Yeah. I mean, you see this a lot with Twitch streamers too, right? A good example is fucking Asmongold right now. Right, Asmongold's getting fucking, I mean, he seems to be taking it fine. I mean, obviously it's over dumb shit, so it's kind of like whatever. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, you had XQC taking a lot of shit, right? You have Hassan taking a lot of shit because he's being a fucking idiot. Right, you have a lot of these streamers and content creators who do get a lot of flack for, right, some of the opinions they have. I'm a testing a lesson I learned to gaslight myself into thinking Twitter never existed. Ugh. Holy shit, that's a message. I mean, I would think that the whole when people go through the whole autism thing, they don't like having, right? They don't like having they don't have control over it all the time, right? Right? The lack of control is what makes it kind of annoying for them, right? I would assume. Right, I don't know. I'm just assuming. I don't have autism or anything like that. But I would still assume if there was an option to remove some of the the hardships that come from the autism current. Yeah, exactly. Right, if you could just fix the hard issues, right? Give them as much normal of a life as possible. Stable is yeah. Anyways, there you go. What time is it? Kind of hungry too.
In America. Today I'm going to react to
Ride on a stolen subway train. Right now, police looking for 3 thieves accused of taking the train over the weekend.
What do you even say when something like this happens? How incompetent is
New York City teens steal train? I mean, you had teens stab some people.
the New York MTA
Yeah,
to allow
teens
this
getting
to
fucking
occur? Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is
weapons and
John,
shit.
and today we're going to talk about a story of supposedly kids that started off as vandals or teenagers or even adults. We actually
yep.
haven't caught them stealing a train out of a train station and driving it to another station on a joyride. And again, as
How
of right
the
now, they
fuck
have
do you-
not been caught for
What?
these particular crimes, but it is a perfect example of how ridiculously
does that
incompetent
even
the
happen?
MTA is run, because not only can they not address fare evasion, they can't even keep kids out of the actual piloting mechanism of the train and keep them from stealing it, even though it's quite literally on one track. There's only 2 directions you can go with the train, that
Yeah.
way, or
Yeah.
nya, if you will. And somehow the MTA managed to lose a train and not even make any arrests associated with this. And by the way, one of the reasons why this is so incredibly dangerous is because the MTA never updates the signaling system on the train. So there is no way
Oh.
via computer for
Yikes.
you to know where the trains are on the tracks. They use a
Oh, yeah,
light-based
that's
signaling
sketchy.
system that an untrained, pun intended, I guess, kid
Yeah.
or teenager would
If
not
you were to
recognize.
go
So
during
if
a
there was somebody
right
doing
when a train
construction
is
on the
moving
track,
that way,
or if there was some
collision
other
and
train
stuff
on
like
the
that.
track, they would have no idea that
Yeah,
that
you wouldn't
existed
have
until
no
it was
idea.
too late, and they could have caused a train
Yeah.
pileup or killed somebody. But yeah, this is apparently totally acceptable in the city of New York.
Yeah,
On
that's
February
pretty
15th
dangerous.
and February 16th, DebateCon 5 is happening. I will be debating on the 16th, which is the second day. The link to tickets
Sure,
are in the
sure,
top
sure.
of the description. It
I'm
is
not
in
going.
Newark, New Jersey, so if you live around the
Whatever.
area, I hope to see you there.
Taking a train on a joyride seems unimaginable for a lot of people, so this latest incident has a lot of riders we spoke to wondering how it could happen here.
Look, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's New York City. Crime Central. Up there with the, what, Georgia, Chicago, Philadelphia, right?
See this local news reporter on the ground. It seems like he's stating the obvious. This seems like an unimaginable problem, but in reality, is it an unimaginable problem?
Miami.
Think about the way that the laws are set
Atlanta.
up in the city of New York and in the state of New York
Florida.
more broadly, because you can't even change it in the city, despite the fact that Eric Adams, who is the mayor of the city of New York, has complained about this time and time again. We have laws called bail reform, which basically mean that you will be released same day automatically, even if you are a repeat offender. And even if you commit a bail eligible crime, judges are actually required to set bail amounts at a certain level that they know that the suspect can pay. So effectively, you're also guaranteeing their release in those particular instances. We also have raise the age, which makes it very difficult to charge people who are underage. And I'm guessing that these people are teenagers, despite the fact that youth offenders make up a huge proportion of the criminals. Again, ages about 15 to 24. That's where almost all the criminal activity occurs for young males, and
I
that
mean,
is the most
you obviously have some outliers of right 13 or 12-year-olds getting into some shit, but yeah, those are a lot more rare.
criminal demographic, and that is something that we need to address. On top of that, if they're on probation or parole, we have less is more, which makes it impossible for you to hold them accountable even if they're on probation or parole. So when you combine all of that and you realize that we have subway surfing as a trend among the youth, we have fare evasion going crazy, it's actually not that
Well, I mean, you
surprising, but
have
it's
kids
incredibly
already doing
troubling because there's
joyrides
no
and shit
security
with
mechanism
cars, right? The
in order
Kia
to stop them from
Boys,
piloting
right?
this train.
Stuff like that.
It's not every day trains like this end up somewhere they're not supposed to be. Saturday night, the NYPD says several unidentified individuals stole an unoccupied R train. It happened around 10:20 near the 71st Avenue station in Forest Hills. Police initially responded to reports of vandalism, but were met by an MTA employee who reported several individuals boarded the train and then proceeded to take it on a joyride for a short distance.
So look, the local news lays out the basic scenario in which this train was stolen, but they're leaving out a couple of key details that I think need to be emphasized right
that's
here,
so fucking
because
dangerous.
we pay a premium to have more employees than necessary per train, and guess what? That didn't deter the theft of this.
Yeah,
According
that's so
to the
weird.
MTA's collective bargaining agreement, you actually need 2 employees minimum that are capable of driving the train to be on the train at all times.
At all
now,
times.
every other rail system in the world only
I think because they
requires
have
one
like
employee
a,
in
they
that
have to
particular
like,
position
there's
per
2
train, and
key, they
because
have
we
2 keys
require
that they
2
need
in
to
the city of New
use
York,
and shit
that
like
actually costs $200 million a year. And by the way, this was negotiated into the collective bargaining agreement after the 2008 financial crisis. So when everybody was stressing, when money was really tight, the MTA union got this absolutely ridiculous demand met because they basically run the show, and they have double the amount of employees in the position to control the train than any other metro
that's
system.
weird.
Now you would think in this particular instance, where you have somebody reporting vandalism, where you have them waiting for the police or talking to the police or waiting to talk to the police, that the other employee would be able to protect the train operating system, but that's not the case. Even though we have twice as many employees that are capable of piloting the train, that could be manning the ship, if you will, they still managed to steal the train. They still managed to get away with taking this. And again, the train's on one track. It can only go one direction or the other direction. That's it. That's all you can really do. And they were able to get away with it because why? It's the city of New York, and the MTA absolutely sucks in every possible way.
That's insanity.
Yeah, that is
Riders
insanity.
like Chris Patino were stunned.
I've heard of kids surfing, but as far as hijacking a train and driving it, not too
that's
often.
yeah,
but it
that's
should never ever
fucking
happen.
wild.
So they interview a guy with a thick New York
Right,
accent.
it's one thing to have like teens hijack a car. It's another thing to do it for a fucking subway. Like what?
That I definitely appreciate in these local news segments, and he says, look, I've heard of people jumping on top of the train and subway surfing, but stealing the train, not too often.
Right, in Japan, you have some of those people that actually, that's dangerous. Yeah, in Japan, people do that sometimes. Or you have people like hitching rides under the big like 16-wheeler fucking truck. It's like, what the fuck?
Maybe like once or twice a
Right.
month I hear about that, but the subway surfing, I've heard about that each and every day.
Or the train surfing, the train hitching.
And twice.
Yeah, there's actually a YouTube channel that that has people upload people train hitching and shit. It's very illegal.
On Sunday. Look, it is not that common for people to steal a train. This is very unusual, but this guy seems to think that this happens kind of semi-regularly, but not as often as you would think, although he at least had the courtesy and the grace to say, you know what, this should never happen. You should never be able to steal a train right out of the station.
Is questioning MTA security after a number of concerning incidents, including one last September where police say 2 suspects entered the Briarwood subway station and stole a train. The teens in that incident were arrested after allegedly crashing the train. And then there's this
they
incident
crashed
from
the
December of
train too.
2023,
Nice.
where several suspects swiped 2 trains in Forest Hills and took them on a joyride before ditching them.
So one of the great things about not watching these videos in full before I decide to make a video about it is that you look like a dumb idiot when you pause the video, make your commentary, and you're completely wrong. Apparently, this is a thing that happens. Apparently, teens are stealing trains semi-regularly, and if you heard about the second incident that they highlighted, or the third incident, it turns out that that was also stolen from a Forest Hill station. So yeah, this guy seems like he's pretty dead on accurate about it.
Dude, what
And
is
again,
going
it makes what I
on?
told
You have
you
people
earlier
just
that much
hijacking
worse. The fact that
trains
the
and like
trains, the
fucking
physical
causing
trains are being
pileups and shit.
stolen
What the
and
fuck?
crashed, by the way, when you have to have 2 people
the
to operate
fuck?
the trains at all times is insane. It's absurd, but again, this is the city of New York. This is what happens when you allow these criminal teenagers
Holy
to
fuck.
go unchallenged, release them, pander to them. They escalate their behavior, and it's only a matter of time before they cause a derailment. It's only a matter of time before they kill somebody, a regular ordinary worker who's
you
working,
already have
again on the
right
tracks,
in
making the
history,
repairs
right
that we desperately need. Because once a
U.S.'s
train is
history,
moving
we've
on the
had
tracks,
some
and this is during
fucking
normal,
train
ordinary
pileups, and they were
operation,
not good.
nobody knows where that train is unless they physically
Right.
see it. That's
Yeah,
how
that's-
insanely old
yeah,
and
you don't-
outdated our
You
transit
don't want
system is
fucking
in the
train
city of New
pileups.
York.
You don't want fucking crashing airplanes, right? That's really fucking bad.
And it's very concerning.
So first of all, Sarah Haber, the woman that they're interviewing right there, obviously an attractive lady. Now, normally I wouldn't comment on that, but you guys out there in the audience are a
I'm
bunch of
confused what
disgusting
happened.
creverts who would leave me comments if I didn't, so I have to comment so you guys can shut the hell up. But
Okay.
in addition to that, she's also dropping the puns, which I appreciate. She's like, they were not trained to drive the train. Get it? Get it? Trained? Get it? Do you guys all
I hate
understand?
you.
I mean, this segment is going completely off the rails as I continue
hate
to talk, pun intended.
I
But
hate
let's
you.
see if we can get this back on track.
I
Again,
hate you.
pun intended.
I
We
hate
reached out
you.
to MTA to see
I
if there were
hate you.
operational cameras on
Fucking
the
hate
stolen
you.
train in the most recent incident, but so far that question has been left unanswered.
So local news guy says that right now they're trying to figure out whether or not the MTA has footage of these people, whether or not the cameras that were in the train, or if there were cameras in the train, were actually working. And I'm not very optimistic about this because as we've seen time and time again, there is not that much surveillance on MTA trains. It's few and far between. A lot of them just have no security at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't.
And this is
yeah.
because the MTA has a total misalignment of their priorities. Again, they build big, over-budget, ridiculous stations that cost billions of dollars while they don't update the signaling system, the basic security, and all the other regular things that a sensible transit system would be focused on. So I
Yeah, that
wouldn't be
sounds like
surprised if they had no
right, America's issue, where we tried to build, overbuild something, but then we don't have like sufficient enough security and stuff like that. So it just like, what's the point of this? This is a big waste of money.
these actual trains or of the thieves inside the trains, because this is what we have seen time and time again from them. And again, if you have multiple different
Yeah,
trains
this is
stolen
taxpayers'
from your
money
transit
that
system,
went into
and
building
trains
this
are not
shit.
typically stolen because there's no value in it, so they're being stolen for joyrides. You should be able to have a basic
Yeah, this
preventative
is
measure
like,
in order
oh,
to stop
jeez.
this from occurring.
This is
but
public
that is too much to
transportation,
expect
dude. This
from
is
the MTA,
taxpayer
who's
money
looking
at
a
your
new crazy way to tax
that they're just
drivers
fucking
who just
with.
don't want to be in our amazing public transit system where apparently
Yeah.
a teenager can set a
Jesus
train barreling
fuck,
down
man.
the track and kill everybody you love.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Well, the police
literally.
are calling this a reckless endangerment incident. Just
I mean,
releasing this surveillance.
At this point, they're like terrorizing people. Like, These guys are menaces to society. You need to get these people out of there.
It's video. Investigators now try
Right,
to
'cause
identify the.
All it takes is for one freak accident to cause right, we already had the passenger plane stuff, right? The Black Hawk, it's like stuff we need. It's bad, dude.
Half a dozen individuals you
Don't
see
get me
in the
wrong,
video
freak
here,
accidents
their images
do
captured
happen,
on
but
surveillance
it's like,
cameras.
we
On
need
Saturday
to,
night, it was
like, tone
reported to
it down.
police that the group gained unauthorized entry to an empty R train at the Forest Hills 71st Avenue subway station. Police say the individuals operated the train and damaged glass panels on the train's camera.
Hey guys, Editing Sean here, and it turns out there is some footage available that is surveillance footage, but more importantly, some of these teenagers decided to upload their joyride on this
Oh
particular
my
train
god, they
on
uploaded
social
their
media.
own.
So we have video from.
Why do people... Criminals just keep uploading their fucking content on the internet. You do that, they're gonna fucking find you.
From their perspective, taking this joyride, hanging out of the side of the train as they're driving it.
We showed you video of the ride yesterday after we found it
Oh
on
my
social
God.
media. MTA CEO Jano Lieber is reacting today, and riders are too.
And in addition to that, the head of the MTA, our chief thief of tax dollars, wants to install facial recognition software in order to start the trains as a response to this.
For our riders and for all of us.
MTA Chair Jano Lieber
Yeah,
says
either
the incident
facial
is
recognition
Failure
or
of security,
thumbprint, right?
Failure of the supervision,
Fingerprint
the monitoring
recognition,
process that needs to be able to stop
Maybe key
a
code
train that's
recognition.
operating that's
Yeah,
not
right,
supposed to be
so-
operating.
It's not clear how exactly the suspects got on, but security video
Right,
appears to show at least two of them exiting at one point through a back door. The MTA says the group entered the train in Bay Ridge, in an area designated for out-of-service trains. Lieber says he wants to
Yeah,
ensure
that's-
only
this is
MTA
so
employees
strange
can
how
start a
they
train
just
by
let
using
that shit
technology,
happen.
the kind of facial recognition tools you see at airports, known as biometrics.
It's also time to talk about when
Yeah,
we're buying these new
at
cars,
airports, there's
we
a
gotta
lot of
have,
biometrics.
You know, modern ways of controlling anyone
Nowadays.
operating it. You know, biometrics. We do use biometrics to check people's attendance.
Which I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could go back to the old days of having a key. Or just, right, I mean, I guess you don't want something physical like that. So you would do, right, you would do the other stuff like fingerprint or facial recognition, right, stuff like that. Or
Is
even a
security
password.
measure, but considering the fact that basic repairs are never made in the transit system, this seems like yet another boondoggle, yet another waste of money from the
Yeah.
MTA, because that's what they do best. Isn't it great
Waste of
that
money.
we have this agency and this utter idiot running it? Now look, obviously I will look for updates on this particular story, and if I get
Yeah.
any interesting updates, I will try to bring them to you as soon as I can. But as of right now, that's all I really have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support reviews, support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about teenagers stealing trains. Till next time.
You got teenagers stealing trains, right? You got them stealing cars, now they're stealing trains. What the I guess next they're gonna go after fucking airplanes. Like, Jesus Christ. Ay, ay, ay. I'm losing my train of thought with those jokes. I hate you. I want to dislike you so much. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate those puns. Anyways. If you want to go look at more shit, Actual Justice Warrior. Clowns on Destiny, clowns on Hassan, basically just clowns on a lot of people. And then talks about fucking criminal activity going on. And then gets in the occasional debate and drama stuff.